Stand up, football fans. What's going on, everybody? Was going to wait till tomorrow, maybe doing a lot more of these now that there's not a lot of sports going on. I know a lot of people are craving sports, and we're not going to have much, obviously with basketball suspended and NHL suspended. The XFL went down. Hopefully NFL free agency does not get backed up, but obviously, you guys are more than welcome to talk about whatever you want tonight. Obviously, I'm a New York Giants channel, for the most part. So I expect most of the calls will probably be New York Giants focused, but obviously, there's a place for you guys to come, hang out, talk sports tonight, talk amongst the chat, call in. I appreciate everybody for coming in, and, I enjoy talking sports with you guys just as much as you guys do with me. So I want to say thank you guys for coming in. What's going on, Danny? What's going on, Craig? What's going on, Ligma? Anthony Simonelli's in the house. Sir Cardinals in the house. Luke Dogg's in the house. Cam's in the house. Goose, it is coffee. It is coffee. What's going on, Big Green? What's going on, Ramoni? Enzo, what's up, Enzo? How you doing, man? Alex Sports. Yvonne's in the house. Thank you guys for being here. I'm going to post the number in a second. As far as the Giants goes, we've got free agency in about 4 or 5 days now if nothing gets backed up. And we'll see. And I'm sure you guys will have some questions with that and the draft and everything else. So I'm looking forward to hearing some of your questions. I want to say thank you to everybody for being here. And am I already getting calls? Hold on 1 second. I didn't hear it. I don't know why I'm not hearing it on the, what's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
Hey, Vince Denise, what's going on, Marcy?
Steven Evans. You knew Evans would be the first call. What's going on, Evans?
I'm well. Nah, I just wanted to call in, man. You popped up in my notifications. I wasn't expecting you to do the call-in show. I just wanted to say what's up. What's going on with you? How you holding up with the whole coronavirus and everybody's panicking, trying to make sure they don't come down with it?
Yeah. All you could do, like I said in my video today, is so people are gonna panic like anything else, but you got to be responsible at the same time. You got to think about other people, outside of yourself. There's elderly people that they say could get really sick from it, but I'm not going to alter my life. I'm going to be more protective, but, I'm still going to do the things that I would do.
Sure. Listen, what do you think we are, like as far as the timeline is concerned? Are we at the tip of the iceberg stage, or are we halfway through it? What's your gut telling you?
Oh, man. I don't think we're near the tip of the iceberg because it seems like it's getting more and more cases every day now. I think this sports shutdown is going to be for at least 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks minimum. I don't think it's going to affect the NFL season, but and I do think the NBA season probably will resume, but it might not be for another month. Same with the NHL.
Yeah, it's a lot going on, man. I just I was thoroughly unprepared to talk to you about anything of substance tonight, man. So I just really wanted to take your temperatures as far as how you're seeing all this coronavirus crap, and I'm interested to see what your take is on how this will impact. And also, too, I'm wondering, how will this impact the draft, like the NFL draft, if this is still prevalent come the draft. I know there was supposed to be a whole big to-do this year with the draft. I think it's in Vegas or some shit, and people are going to be taking boats from wherever they're seated to the middle of some lake in the Bellagio or something. That can't possibly still go on in the current climate, right?
I agree with you. They haven't officially announced anything. I read on Twitter today that they're basically talking about some revisions that they can make. But my guess would be that it's not going to be the typical draft. I don't think it's going to be this huge crowd. Obviously, they're telling people to stay away from huge crowds. The NFL draft is still going to take place, but
Right.
I don't expect it to be this big scene. It could be like old school, like it was, like I said in my video today, back in 1994 when they were basically in hotel rooms going, doing draft picks. It could almost be like a live stream, like what I do. Might be the NFL draft this year.
Yeah, maybe. And listen, I'll let you go with this one. Listen, Marcy, I've done my part over the months, and I guess about a year or so now, maybe longer. Okay, supporting the channel. I'm trying to trend hashtags for you. I'm coming up with every fucking nickname I can think of for Marcy, for the Marcy Boss. Where is my free merch? Okay, so I can walk around and tell people that I know a guy who knows a guy who does some football crap on YouTube.
Go
What's happening here?
pop into my Discord, and we'll set you up with some merch. Pop into my Discord.
I don't even know what the Discord is. I'm so uncool with the fucking Discord. I can't do Discord. You know that, Marcy. Holy shit. Listen, I tell you what, I'm going to try to find Bigger Mike and see if he can help me get my Discord game together.
I'm sure Sonor's in there. I'm sure Sonor can help you out.
Got you. No problem. Hey, listen, man, get back to it. I'll be listening, man, and, Ben's and Knees gang all day.
I appreciate it, Mr. Evans. Thank you for calling in, buddy.
Later, boss.
Long-time subscriber, Mr. Evans. What's going on? You're on live, and I just want to get Kashener, man. Thanks so much for the love, man. He says, my man, did you get a chance to see my mock draft vid? Thank you for the super chat, man. I really appreciate that. I saw part of it. I was at work when I was watching it. I did not see the full mock, but I will go back and watch the conclusion of it. I did see part of it. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
Hey, Chris, how you doing? I hope you're healthy. It's Brandon Maloney again.
Hey, what's going on, Brandon, man? Yeah, I hope everybody's healthy, yourself included.
I know. Well, yeah, I hope everybody's healthy too. You know what's funny? Before football, I had some things, but I think it's funny. I was talking to my buddy today, and I totally agree with your coronavirus video that everyone should take caution. But I don't know if people remember, but just to kind of like help with the nerves a little bit. Not that it's not serious, but in 2009, if people remember the swine flu, that was another one that me and my friends were talking about. I think people kind of forgot about that. That was more similar to this one. And, I'm not, like I said, I'm not saying it's not serious, but, I think that's just a way they were able to get that under control relatively quickly. So, we'll see what happens. I definitely agree with I agree with everything they're doing, but that was the first thing that came to mind when I heard about this. I'm like, this kind of smells like the swine flu to me. I'm 23. I was in 6th grade at the time.
That's a great comparison.
I don't know if people remember that.
That's a great comparison. I was actually working at a hospital when that happened, and everybody was coming in with the masks, and that instance didn't seem to get to the point that this one is, but yeah, it was similar at the beginning where people were panicking, and then another one was, I forgot the name of it, but anthrax was it, when people were putting things in the mail? Maybe you're too young for that, but there's been a couple of instances. This one seems like it's a little more advanced, and I think that's why people are nervous, but we just gotta do what you're supposed to do. Wash your hands, make sure you stay out of large crowds, just be conscious of everybody.
Yeah, and I have like I said, I don't want to get into football. I don't want to obviously waste too much time, but I actually have a quick question about that because you seem to know a little bit about the swine flu. Now, in terms of this one, I thought it was more 50 and above with pre-existing conditions than the real elderly were at risk. That's what I remember because I was in 6th grade. That's what I remember from the swine flu. Do you think this is more severe than the swine flu? I thought they were about the same level. Maybe we still don't know enough about it yet.
Yeah, I don't know the statistics. This seemed, at least to me, and maybe I didn't watch TV back then like I do now, like the news. I was younger, so maybe that's the case. But from what I remember, this seems to be, people think this is a little more serious than the swine flu was. There was an initial scare with the swine flu, but I feel like this is on another level.
Yeah. In terms of football questions, I really I've seen a lot of your videos lately, and I if this was the year to do it, I agree. But, free agency-wise, I really feel like, Byron Jones, I feel like the only guy that I really want to spend any kind of money on, I really want to continue, building through the draft, still think we could trade back, is Van Noy. That's the only thing that I've heard that I've been okay with. Van Noy, he knows Joe Judge, but, I remember something you said previously, and I'm getting your thoughts. I'm really concerned about the Giants and kind of Gettleman's last leg here going haywire in free agency. I really don't want any of these big name guys because I really feel like this team can build for sustained success.
Yeah,
because I think it's funny. Like, you look at the This is why as a Giants fan I love the Cowboys, because I'm a firm believer. I've said this on your channel. I'm a firm believer that this sport has everything to do with management, and they've managed and they haven't, because Jerry Jones is so Jerry Jones-like that he's built this great team. That's a 13-3 team. But they were 8-8, it didn't make the playoffs.
That team has no excuses. That team, the way they've drafted, they have no excuses not to be competing for Super Bowls.
That's why I love the Cowboys as a Giants fan, because they're so good, but they're not. That's why I love so many Cowboys fans here, because they're more of a nationwide team, and I love joking with them because they're so smart, like I said, but they're not, because Jerry Jones is so in his own head, and he's not teaching his son Stephen Jones any differently. He does all these right things, has built a great organization, but they can't get out of their own way. And a team that I think is no excuses less than 13-3 goes 8-8 and doesn't make the playoffs. And now all the stuff they're doing with Dak, I don't like the Cowboys either. But I remember watching First Take, and they're not going to offer Dak the same contract as Carson Wentz. I mean, come on. I don't like the Cowboys, but I think that guy. I'm okay with him as a quarterback. I think he's earned it. He's a leader. He's an Iron Man like Eli.
Yeah.
You know?
If I was Dallas, what just happened? Hold on 1 second.
I'm right here.
I don't know why my volume went off from one of my. What is going on, football fans? Back at it with another New York Giants video. And in this video, like a lot of other videos, I'm going to jump around a little bit. There's a number of small topics that came out regarding the New York Giants, and I wanted to give my opinion on a lot of them. In addition to that, I just want to say that obviously with the coronavirus, it seems as if the NFL is as per usual. It was I hit the I lost the chat. I got to go back into it, but I hit the video on my desktop by accident. Sorry about that. But so you were talking about Dak. I think Dak based on this market, they should pay him, because if you wait another year because of that 20% increase, he's going to be another $6 or $7 million a year. So I agree with you that I think they should pay him, as crazy as that may sound. And pertaining to my video from yesterday, that wasn't even my feeling. I don't want people to feel like I'm saying we need to spend. I just wanted to give a different perspective when I thought about it and thought about the difference in the market, and basically say,
oh yeah, no, I get your videos. Yeah, absolutely.
And basically say, if they were gonna do it, this would be the year to do it. Like, it makes sense to do it. You know, yeah. But
yeah, no, I totally agree. And I do want a pass rusher, but I feel like a lot of these guys, I just feel like if they trade with one of these teams, I still feel like that's the best scenario, because I really want to build this team through the draft. And listen, a lot of the teams in our organization or on our division, with the exception of the Eagles, like I said, if the Giants are smart, they're smart. The other teams are smart, but they're not. Because just like the Redskins with Dan Schneider, the Cowboys, we know about Jones, they know how to build these teams, but I feel like they're getting their own way. The Giants at least don't have that much of a problem. So, if we can figure it out, let Gettleman draft well, not too many moves in free agencies, sign some of these big guys after, like Saquon, these foundational players. You had a video back a while ago saying how you think the Giants could be set up to dominate this division. I feel like if we take this approach, we can. That's why I'm excited about the future.
I agree with you. I just think we shouldn't expect it to happen this year. I think if we continue to build the right way.
I totally agree.
Yeah, I think in 2-3 years, the Giants could be set up very nicely for an extended period of time. But we need to continue to do the right thing, which they've been doing. And I think they will do. Everything you've heard, I don't think this team is going to go hog wild, like John Mara said. So I think they're going to bring in smart free agents. They might bring in one big guy. We've heard Clowney. If they bring in Clowney, I don't think they're bringing in two other guys. I think it'll be Clowney and then a bunch of cost-effective guys. If they bring in Byron Jones, I think it'll just be Byron Jones and then a bunch of cost-effective guys. I don't think they're going to go crazy. That's what I think will happen. I wouldn't rule out Clowney, but I don't think they're going to bring in 2 or 3 huge guys. It'll be one if they bring in one.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward to it, but I just want to say, I appreciate your channel. I still think you're doing good. I know you're going to have a bunch of people calling in, so stay healthy, and we'll see what happens.
I appreciate it, man. I'm sure I'll be doing a lot more of these because people are going to be craving sports, so I'll probably do this 2 or 3 times a week just to talk sports with you guys.
I'm craving it.
But I appreciate the call, man. I appreciate the call, buddy.
Hey, have a good one. Stay healthy.
You too, my man. Thank you for the call. And I got a couple of super chats. I just wanted 1 second. I just got a couple of super chats I wanted to read while I lost connection there for a second. Cam Brown, man, thank you so much, man, for the $1 donation. I really appreciate that. Moojdat with the $1 donation. I really appreciate that. And my man, Rudy T. What is going on, Rudy T, man? Love that guy. Says, stay home, New York Giants fans, and don't touch me. What's up, Rudy, man? Thanks for popping in. And who's this? Thank you for... Oh, I got a couple more. I'm sorry. I just want to make sure I get these.
Hi there.
Manuel, thank you for the $1 donation. And John Laterno, stand up. You're the best as always. Oh, God, I can't say that. You know that, John. But thanks for being here. I'm sorry about that. Who's this? Thank you for calling in.
Hi, it's Dave from Jersey City. How's it going?
John, what's going on, Jay, man? Thanks for popping in, buddy.
No, it's Dave.
Dave, I'm sorry.
So, that's okay. Yeah, one thing I don't hear a lot of discussion about is we want to improve the offensive line a lot, and everyone's fixated on the tackle.
Right.
And our center play was pretty horrid last year. And I think nobody's talking about in the top of the second round, I believe they're going to take one of the best center or maybe the second best center in this draft. And I don't know who those people are. I don't study the film on the centers and things. So that's going to make a dramatic improvement of the offensive line just by improving the center position.
It's a great point you bring up, and it's something that I've talked about in the past with the center position. That they definitely, if they're going to go center, second round is definitely a strong possibility, or third. They could wait till 99 and maybe Biadish falls to them from Wisconsin. But Cesar Ruiz, I've mentioned him a couple of times. I wouldn't be shocked. I'm not saying this is going to happen, but if the Giants went heavy, and I mean heavy defense, like all of their free agent signings were on defense, I wouldn't be shocked. Say they trade down to 6 and they get 37, they got 36, 37. I wouldn't be shocked if they end up with Tristan Wirfs or pick your offensive lineman at 6, and then they take Cesar Ruiz at one of those 2 picks at 36 or 37. I think that's
they're going Isaiah Simmons all the way for the win. Isaiah Simmons.
I'm just saying I wouldn't be shocked. I know a lot of Giants fans want Isaiah Simmons, and I don't blame them. But I wouldn't be shocked.
It's not because I'm a fan. He's a special player. You know that.
No, he is.
Our boy
he is.
Gettleman is always saying he's looking for that gold jacket type of player, and that is somebody that you could see in a gold jacket.
And he fits Joe Judge's philosophy. I think that's, as soon as I heard Joe Judge's press conference, I'm like, he's talking about Isaiah Simmons. So I agree with you that I would say it's at least a 50% chance we're going Isaiah Simmons early. Unless we trade down, then anything could happen.
So I tell you another thing. I'm pretty sure, I bet you could get probably the best fullback in all of college football, like late, like in the 6th or 7th round. And because they want to be able to attack different defenses in different ways. And you can just go with a jumbo package and smash people in the face, like with a fullback, with a 2-back. Like you don't see, like so many defenses are geared to the spread offenses that have become all the rage. When you come at somebody with that old school, like jumbo package and you're smashing people in the face, they could use a fullback with a Lorenzo Neal. Remember, he used to open up.
Oh yeah. We're going way back. Rathman with the 49ers. Moose with the Cowboys.
But LaDainian Tomlinson had the best fullback in football.
Lorenzo Neal used to open up holes the size of the Grand Canyon. That's why I was happy they brought back Penny. Not to say Penny's great, but at least it shows you they're going to try to utilize the fullback position.
But you can get an elite fullback late in the draft.
You could.
Nobody wants him. They think
You could. I mean, they got 4 7th-round picks, so I wouldn't be shocked if they used one of those picks on a fullback. I wouldn't be shocked. I also think they could definitely draft a tight end late in the draft. There's a lot of ways they could go at the end of the draft. Wide receiver, I think, will go in the 3rd or 4th round. Early on, though, like you said, I think they're either going with a linebacker or an offensive tackle in the 1st, and probably the same thing in the 2nd. I think that's what you're looking at the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, I'm
or a center, like you said.
I really like Harris Jr. I think he's one of the better nickel corners as a free agent. I think he would be a great addition to our defense because we're getting torched in the slot.
Yeah.
Good veteran slot corner.
I'm a fan of him. For the right price on a 2-year deal. I think he's 31, but he's still pretty effective, and he's versatile. He's done both. He's better in the slot, and that's part of the reason why, from what I've read, he's excited to hit free agency because he felt like he wasn't played in the slot enough. For the right price, Chris Harris Jr. makes a lot of sense. He's experienced. You probably get him on a 2-year deal because of his age, and he probably wouldn't break the bank. So, yeah, I think he's a guy you want to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I just want to say, too, I never been this excited about a coach of any sports team, ever. Like this guy, Joe Judge, he's like this media came down and, Vince Lombardi popped out. He's awesome. I just love
I'm a huge fan, too. Man. I can't help but like the guy. And just the culture he's bringing to the New York Giants. It's almost like a team. The coaching staff is almost like a team in itself.
Yeah, I'm really scared about this coronavirus. They just shut down the NBA, and I think this thing just got underway. This could go on for 6 months, 9 months. We don't this could impact football. So
we don't know. We don't know. All I can tell you is you got to live your life, but at the same time you have to be responsible. Don't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's basically what I'm telling people. I don't want. I'm not going to tell people how to live their lives, but I would say be responsible, be cognizant that there's a virus out there. Make sure you wash your hands. But at the same time, like Bad Dog said in his video today that I didn't get a chance to comment on, don't live in a bubble, So, but I think it's something that we need to take seriously. It's not a joke.
Yeah, but well, thanks so much for taking my call. I'm a big fan of your content, and keep up the good work.
I really appreciate it, man. Thanks for the call, man. I really do appreciate it.
All right, bye.
Have a good one. All right. What's going on? You're on live. I just want to read a couple of super chats just so I don't forget them. JJ Trilla, huge Cowboys fan. What's up, buddy? He says 25-year drought, yet 98% of the teams can't catch up. This is true. You guys do have 5 Super Bowl rings, but you do have a 25-year drought. Let's be fair. Let me just make sure I didn't miss any. What's going on, City, for real? Thanks for the super chat, man. He says, after you puke from a 12-pack of Corona, can you call in sick from work asking for a friend? Stand up. Can't wait to see Garrett's first claps. You and me both, man. And I don't know. That's a great question. Maybe I should have drank in some Corona for this stream. What's going on? You're on live. Thanks for calling in, buddy. Who's this? Hello? All right. I think I lost him. Sorry about that. Next call. You're on live. Thank you for calling in. Who's this?
This is James from Virginia.
I've been getting a lot of Virginia calls lately. I got like 4 on my last call and show. I never realized I had so many Virginian subscribers. What's up, James?
VA, baby. I really don't want to talk too much about the coronavirus, but I do want to talk about what we could do to solidify our defensive line. And I was thinking, I talked about this because I called in Friday about Yannick Ngakoue.
Yeah.
If you compare his stats to Myles Garrett, it's not that far off, man. And I know Yannick was drafted in 2016 and Myles was drafted in 2017, but Yannick has 104 tackles. So does Myles Garrett. Okay, Yannick has 37.5 sacks. So does and Myles Garrett has 30.5. Yannick has 2 interceptions, 9 pass deflections, and 2 defensive touchdowns. And Myles Garrett, he has 6 forced fumbles and 1 fumble recovery. It's not that far off. I'm not trying to compare the two, but I know Myles Garrett, dude's a monster, but
yeah,
we could really use Yannick Ngakoue. I've been telling everybody that'll listen to me, that aren't even Giants fans, that we could really use that guy.
Yeah, I mean, Myles Garrett is let's talk about Myles Garrett first. Myles Garrett, to me, is probably the most athletic freak in the NFL. Like, he is ridiculous. I remember watching him at the Combine, and that guy's a monster. But as far as Ngakoue goes, Ngakoue is very good. And I will say, some people point to his run.
He's really good.
Yeah, some people point to his run defense, and that's fair. The one thing is, though, obviously we have to trade for him because he's franchise tag. But Ngakoue, when you look at what he's done, obviously he's durable. He led the league in quarterback pressures last year, too. People don't realize that. He led the league in quarterback pressures. He's known for causing fumbles. He is a very, very good player. I just don't know if I'm willing to give up a second-round pick plus $22 million on the cap to acquire him. That's what you got to ask yourself. But he's definitely – if everybody was a free agent in this year's class at the edge rusher position, you could certainly argue based on age and everything else, he's the most attractive option. But unfortunately, he's franchise tagged.
Yeah, I think it's a chance worth taking. That's my opinion. I know that a lot of Giants fans aren't a big fan of his, but you've seen him and you look at his numbers, compared to other pass rushers, other good pass. Clowney, he's injury prone, man. He's the guy gets hurt every year. I mean, it seems like he's a good player, but as far as this coronavirus, I watched a show where they had this infectious disease expert from the CDC.
Yeah,
and he seems to believe that it's only going to get worse here in the States because of the obesity rate, for one thing. The way he was talking is, obese people that that don't have like cancer, or things of that nature could be affected with just heart disease or high blood pressure.
Makes sense.
Etc.
Obviously the obesity rate in this country is higher than any of these other countries that are being affected, and I would think that would mean that you have a weaker immune system because you're not in shape. So that makes sense. That's actually a very good point. Something I didn't even think about.
This guy said that it's going to get worse. That he was saying, don't believe that, because you have doctors getting on the news and media outlets and telling us they're basically comparing it to the flu. 5,000 people died last month from the flu, and only a small amount of people died from this virus. And that time period, there's he's basically saying, don't listen to what you hear on the news. You hear a lot of people say that anyway. Me personally, I don't believe a lot of what I hear on the news if I don't see it in front of me. If it's not.
There's definitely media bias when it comes to anything on the news. There's no doubt about that.
Exactly.
My motto is always, especially when there's something like this, I'd rather be over the top safe, and not to say that I'm going to live in a bubble, like I said earlier, but I'd rather be cautious. It's better to be safe than sorry. I'm not going to be one of these people that just ignores it and doesn't act like that it's this big conspiracy. That's not me. I think it's smarter to prepare for the worst. That's all I'll say. But everybody's entitled to their own opinion.
Yeah. It's yes. I don't think it's a conspiracy, but everybody be safe. That's all.
Yeah, no, that's it, man. Everybody be safe. That's all you can say. And I'm the same way. I'm nervous. I'm trying to be as safe as I can. But I think it'll pass, and we'll get through it, man. Just like we do everything else. But
I just hope.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just hope it won't affect. The free agency and the draft.
I hope not.
I know it won't affect the draft, but
yeah, free agency might get pushed back, but I still think both of them are going to occur within by the end of March for sure. We'll just have to wait and see. But I want to say I got a bunch of people calling in. I just want to say thank you for calling in. Yeah, man, enjoy the rest of your night, buddy.
Hey, you too. God bless.
All right, man. Have a good one. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
Hey, Chris. This is Kaiser Sose. How you doing?
What's going on, Kaiser, man? Thanks for calling in, buddy.
No problem. So, everybody, I want to try and hit you hard tonight here with some questions.
Let's go.
I want to start off with Evan Ingram. What do you think? We should trade him or what?
Yeah, no, I've been pretty outspoken about Evan Ingram since the start of the offseason. For the right price. I'm not going to just trade him to trade him. But yeah, if I get a third-round pick for Evan Ingram, and I don't think the problem is I don't think we're going to get that because the guy's in a walking boot. I don't think you might be able to trade him in season. Like say the Giants are 2-4 and we're not going anywhere fast, but Ingram's healthy, he's playing well. You might be able to make a move then. I don't think you're going to be able to trade Ingram before the year starts. But if Ingram is not in the Giants' long-term plans, it is smarter to try to trade him before it's too late. So that's my mindset with Evan Ingram. I know a lot of people don't like hearing that because a lot of people love Evan Ingram, and I completely see the guy's upside. But at the end of the day, in 3 years, the guy's missed a complete complete season's worth of games. So, the best ability is availability. People say it all the time, and he's not proven to be that. And if the Giants don't think he's going to be here past his rookie deal, it would be smarter to make a trade if the right deal is there.
So I'm also thinking I don't want to see him go, but Dalvin Tomlinson.
Dalvin Tomlinson's interesting. A lot of that, in my opinion, is going to depend on if they bring back Leonard Williams, which we don't know if they're going to do yet. But if they do bring back Leonard Williams, you're going to have to think long and hard because you're already paying, we'll assume $14 or $15 million to Leonard Williams if you bring him back. We'll say 13. We'll lowball it. And then you have to think about, okay, am I going to invest another $12 million to keep a nose tackle when I'm paying Williams 13 and I still have to set aside money to extend Barkley, to extend Daniel Jones? So I mentioned that in my trade video as well when I made it a while back. Those were the two players I mentioned, and I love Dalvin Tomlinson. Dalvin Tomlinson was my favorite player in last year's defense. But if Leonard Williams is going to be on this team, you have to ask yourself, does the salary add up? if you're paying Leonard Williams $13 or $14 million.
You know, the other thing is thinking about the offensive line is, you know, we got a whole new coaching staff. And not to say that any player at any time could be coached up. And, you know, maybe this offensive line could gel together. And, you know, maybe we can look more to defense in the draft. And I know you want to concentrate on the offensive line, but, you know, can a new coaching staff turn it around?
I think we need to concentrate on both. I don't want anybody to ever get the impression that I'm ignoring defense. I think we need to significantly improve both. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, the coaching staff needs the players. But you might be able to make the argument that a lot of players on this team have talent; they're just young and underdeveloped, and a good coaching staff might be able to get the most out of them. I still think they're a lot of pieces away from being, you know, a Super Bowl contending football team. But I definitely think, like take DeAndre Baker for example, take Ojean Zimenez, Lorenzo Carter, Julian Love. I think these are players with talent, and I think with the proper coaching, they could get a lot better. As far as the offensive line goes, John Halapio to me is complete trash. The right tackle is gone, Mike Remmers. We're not bringing him back. So that's two holes right there. Solder, I don't think is going to be in the long-term plan. So that is why I want to at least pay significant attention to the offensive line, whether it's in the second round or whether it's spending in free agency or the first round. But it's something that I feel they need to address, and they need to address fast because you've got a young quarterback, you've got a young running back that you've tried to build this team around. So, you know, I'm not going to be upset if they go Isaiah Simmons by any stretch, which is what I continue to express. But I definitely think they need to pay a lot of attention to that offensive line as well.
So if we sign Conklin, do you think he could be put into left tackle and move Solder over to right tackle?
Well, Conklin's a right tackle. Conklin's always been a right tackle. He would be the right tackle. So if we signed Conklin, unless we drafted a left tackle, Solder would be your starting left tackle. But then you could go and draft a left tackle in the next year's draft or something like that, and maybe address the center position in the second round with a guy like Ruiz out of Michigan. But yeah, if you sign Conklin, that definitely opens up all the freedom you want for your first round pick. You go defense for sure.
And a tall wide receiver. That's the only other thing I'm looking for, a tall wide receiver.
Definitely need a tall wide receiver, especially for this offense. And you look at the receivers we have, Shepard and Tate are basically the same type of receiver. They're both short. They're both like 5'10". We need a guy that's 6'3", 6'4", go up, catch the jump ball for sure. But the thing is, this is such a deep draft at that position. You could wait until round 4 to take a receiver.
Yeah.
You know, so the free agent market, there's not a lot of, like Devin Funchess is all right, but depends on what he's going to go for. He's a tall option. But in terms of free agency, I think I would stay away from the wide receiver. I would wait until the draft.
Right. Listen, I want to say I love the channel. You do a great job, and I watch it every day. So keep it up, buddy.
I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that, man. Thank you for calling in, buddy.
All right. Take care.
Have a good one. Yeah, I got a quick funny story actually. I ran into a subscriber of mine at work 2 days ago, and he said the same thing that last caller said. He said, "You're the Giants guy, right?" He said, "I watch your channel every day." He pulls up his phone. He's got 50 of my videos on his phone. We talked about the Giants for a half hour. It was great. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in. Who's this?
Stand up, the entertainer.
What is going on, John Latourneau? Oh, God, an Eagles fan. No, I love John. What's up, buddy?
Hey, I was about to say, man, I hope the virus goes to the Giants. Now I'm just fucking with you, man. And they didn't fill any other needs. Would you be pissed off if they took them, even though you have other spots that you need to be filled that you think are more important than the wide receiver spot?
What are you saying, round 2?
No, I'm saying like like any round, like first round, second round, or
if we take Henry Ruggs 4th overall, my Daniel Jones reaction will look PG.
Hey,
If
at least if you get him, that means my team can't get him. So you got to look at it in a positive aspect too, Chris.
if we take Henry Ruggs 4th overall, it will not look pretty on draft night.
Well, baby, I hope you guys do take him. Hey, I just wanted to say, hey, hello, and what's up, man? And this virus has just ruined. I mean, I know we have to be safe and all, but I know you don't watch hockey, but my Flyers were on a really good streak right now, and I think this, can stop momentum and everything like that. So I'm just kind of bummed about that. But that's why we got you and the Bad Dog doing videos and stuff like that. And I really appreciate what you do. And How's your Mets doing in spring training? Are they doing all right? I haven't really followed the Phillies, but I heard they have a decent record in spring training.
Yeah, I don't really look at the record when it comes to. Obviously, baseball is going to get pushed back too now. But as far as your Flyers go, I have a couple of Philadelphia subscribers that have told me they were doing really well. But yeah, no, I don't really read too much in the spring training. But I was excited for baseball. I was excited for my Mets, and it's a shame that it's going to get pushed back. I was thinking about this earlier today. You figure baseball is going to get pushed back at least 2 or 3 weeks. And, I mean, what are you going to do there? Are you going to play playoff baseball up until December? I don't think you could do that. So I would think they'd have
They're
to
probably going to do 144 games like they did in what?
Yeah. Yeah, they're gonna have to cut the schedule shorter. I don't think that they're going to be able to play a 162-game season this year.
Yeah, which kind of sucks because that means that's less that my Phillies can beat your Mets. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be, But I just wanted to say hello to you, man. And you do great work as always. The only bad thing for you and Bad Dog is that you don't represent the Kelly Green Eagles. Other than that, you're the man, dog. And that's why I follow you, even though you're a Giants creator. That shows how great you are, Chris. Because I'm an Eagle guy and I follow a Giants content creator because you're the man. You know what you do. You know your stuff, and your aura and everything like that is great. And I wish other Eagle creators would have you and Bad Dog skills and stuff like that, but they don't. But that's just
there's a lot of good Eagles creators, man. But
I know, but for me to follow you and Bad Dog as an Eagle fan, I mean, I'm sure there's Eagle good creators out there, but. I don't know. Just I guess we have a better connection. Just the only thing we don't have is the same team. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate the compliment, man. Always love talking to you, John. You're a great subscriber of mine, and yeah, man. I just want to say thanks for calling in, and I hope you stay safe and stay away from this virus, man.
Yeah, you too, because we're gonna need you more than ever now since they took away our sports for at least a month, close to a month, I guess.
I know. I'll be doing a lot of these call-in shows. But John,
all right, Chris. Well, I love you, man. Stand up. And don't forget to take a shot at Johnny for me, all right?
I will. All right, John, man. Thanks for the call, buddy.
All right.
What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
Hey. What's up, entertainer? I tried to call in last time, but phone didn't work or signal went out or something. It's Kush, the hub.
Oh, what's going on, man? How you doing, buddy?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. Yeah, if you guys haven't checked out the hub, go do so. Great Giants creator, man. Always love talking to him. Yeah, man. How you doing, man? How you holding up?
I'm doing good. As you know, since we're both in the NYC area, kind of hectic right now. I don't know if you heard, but do you use the MTA at all?
I do not.
But I guess you know how big it is.
Yeah.
In NYC.
I heard.
Yeah.
That,
so like they're
I heard from my friend who's in the NYPD. Basically said they're shutting down everything.
Exactly.
So yeah, I did hear about that.
Yeah, like I guess for the listeners that don't know, the MTA is literally how like 99% of New Yorkers get around.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy that it's gotten that far. I mean, I don't even want to talk about it too much because it's kind of. I mean, like. I guess a part of me thinks that there's a little overreaction, but at the same time, I'm happy that everybody's taking it so seriously so that, doesn't spread, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, like I said earlier, it's better to be safe than sorry, man.
Exactly. Well, enough about that. Let's get into some Giants talk now.
Let's do it.
One of your earlier callers made a really good point saying that we really need to look at a new center. And I heard you, a snippet of you even saying that you would love a new center too because Jalapeno is basically trash and the guy behind him, Spencer Pulley, is not much better. And I agree with that. Like, I really think we should be looking at a center in the third or fourth round. Like, I don't think that we're going to get a guy like a Cesar Ruiz. I think he might be gone even by the third round. But I think we could get guys like Matt Hennessy and Jake Hansen, if you know them.
Yeah, Hennessy. I actually saw a piece written on Hennessy this week. That is a guy that's definitely on the Giants' radar. If you're waiting until the third round, Ruiz will go in the late first, early second. He definitely won't be there. He had a great combine. I think it's again depending on what we do in free agency. We don't know if we're going to address that position in free agency, but if we do not, I definitely think it's probably likely. We go with a center no later than the third or fourth round. We need to. I mean, Jalapeno cannot be the center next year. He was horrible.
Exactly. I'd be surprised. I mean, like, nothing is a certainty, but if there's anything certain about this draft, I definitely think we're going to take a center in the mid-rounds. I mean, I'm really looking at that caller, I can't remember their name for the life of me, but such a great point that a center alone will help solidify a lot of that offensive line because you're missing essentially your centerpiece. I mean, hence the name center on that line. It's not the most important part, but it is an important part that really helps in both the run game, pass game, all that. And if we could get a good center, man, because Jalapeno, if we're taking our Giants blinders off for a second, that's what I call it when, it happens to me all the time when Giants fans, they look at players on the team and they kind of rate them higher than they are. If we take our Giants blinders off for a second, Jalapeno is not a starting caliber center, and we haven't had that for a while, you know what I'm saying?
There were so many games last year where it looked as if Jalapeno just stepped to the side and let the guy go right through the middle. He's not good. He's not good. And I know he will not be in the starting lineup. And I personally think they're going. I could actually see them going with a guy like Ruiz in the second round if he's there. But I definitely think they're gonna address that center position, and they may do it like I said in free agency. But they need to address that. They need to get a right tackle or a left tackle and shift Solder over and a center. That's a necessity. Whether that's in the draft or free agency, that needs to be done.
Yeah, if we're going to talk for a second, like let's pretend they don't do it in free agency. I guess just focus on draft talk. Like honestly, my dream scenario, it's not a popular one, and I've had this on the channel. It's basically we trade down with the Raiders. We get 12 and 19. We take the best tackle left at 12. We take somebody like a Epineza or a Gross Matos at 19. And if we're trading down with the Raiders, I'm sure we're going to get either a second or third round pick to go along with that. And with that, we take a center. What do you think about that?
It's not crazy. And now they may give you a future second or third. It may not be in this year's draft, but it's not crazy. It's not crazy if you can do that. It's not a crazy idea, for sure. Or you could go with a guy like Kayvon Chaisson at 12 and then take an offensive lineman at 19. You could go either or. But yes, if you were to trade down and get those two picks, you'd have the ability to still get a good offensive lineman and get yourself a nice pass rusher.
Yeah,
that's definitely. I was talking to Spencer on that podcast thing I did, and I like Chaisson a lot too. I remember when I read the scouting report and watched the film. Not that we could take him at 4. But in that situation, you could possibly take him at 12. He's an interesting prospect, too, because he's incredibly versatile. So that's another option there where you could maybe go with the defensive player at 12 and take the offensive lineman at 19 if you feel Andrew Thomas will be there or someone like that. So, yeah, it opens up a lot of possibilities if you trade down and get the 12 at 19.
Yeah, I like Chaisson, too. I can't pronounce his first name for the life of me. I'm going to just call him KC going forward. Do you know how to pronounce his first name or not?
Kayvon.
Kayvon.
Yeah, K is in the letter K. Kayvon. I'm almost positive that's how you pronounce it.
I bet. At least it's not like Tungo Valero. But I like Kayvon. I just don't see him, unless we do trade on 12-19, I don't see him anywhere in the Giants' books. He definitely fits that versatile build that we're looking for. But the thing about the offensive lineman, what I've noticed is, like, looking past these top 4 prospects, those 4 guys could be at either side of your line, left or right, no problem. I'm fairly sure they would have good careers. Obviously, we can't tell the future or nothing. In the words of Joe Judge, we're not on Miss Cleo. But
yeah.
But past those 4 guys, I really don't like anybody. And it's like, I mean that as I don't want to take anybody past those 4 guys because they're really only right tackle prospects, in my opinion.
Right.
And while we do need a right tackle, I would love to get our future left tackle, place them at right for now. Wait until Sower gets off, whether we let him play out the contract or we cut him. Shift them back to the right position at left tackle, and then take our right tackle next year in our future drafts. Because I feel like these 4 guys are just so good at what they do that I don't know if we're going to get somebody like them next year or the year after. I just don't like the tackles after the 4 because they're really only right tackle prospects in my eye.
And if you're going to trade down to 12, if that's the way you felt, which I actually agree with you. I think it's a significant drop-off after those 4. You probably play it safe and take the tackle first. And then you hope a guy like Kayvon Chaisson drops to you at 19. If not, you go with somebody else. That's probably the more appropriate approach if you trade it down with the Raiders. And the Raiders are an interesting candidate. And we know that Gruden is not shy. He could definitely make a trade and move up if he feels like he wants the quarterback. So that's definitely a possibility for the Giants. No, don't rule that out.
And on Gruden, it might not even have to be a quarterback. I mean, we've seen him done some crazy stuff as recent as last year, passing up on Josh Allen to take
Calais
Farrell. Yeah, I forgot his name because he didn't even make an impression on anybody.
Yeah.
But, it's too soon to call him a bust. He's only had 1 year. But John Gruden does crazy things. He might not even want a quarterback, and he'd probably still trade up for any player, to be honest with you.
He traded Khalil Mack. I mean,
Exactly.
yeah, so anything's possible with John Gruden. He definitely thinks outside the box. And, we're going to have to wait and see, man. But I'm going to let you go because I got a couple people calling in. But, man, I just want to say stay healthy. Keep up the great work on your channel. And thank you for calling in.
No problem. Thank you, man. Have a good one.
You got it, my man. And I just want to get, just got to make sure I get the super chat here. Eagles UK, man. Thanks so much for Eagles UK. Phenomenal subscriber of mine. Comments on every video. Always shows me love on Twitter, man. Thanks so much for the super sticker, man. Appreciate that. I just want to make sure I get all these. Moose Dot, man. Thanks for a little fist bump, man. Thanks for the super sticker. Appreciate it. And Malik Washington with the $2 super chat. He says, what would you want in a tag and trade for Williams? That's something I've never thought about because I honestly don't think anybody is going to be willing to trade for Leonard Williams based on what he'd be tagged at $15 million a year. But, I mean, at the end of the day, in a tag and trade for Williams, I don't think you're getting much more than probably a fourth. But you get him off the team and you're not having to pay that salary. I don't think you're getting much more than a fourth in a tag and trade. I honestly don't think anybody's going to trade for him at $15 million a year. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in. Who's this?
Hey, Christopher, you don't know who this is?
Oh, God, it's Bobby Wood, the voice of an angel. Bobby, how you been, buddy?
You didn't recognize my phone number. I'm surprised.
It's been a while, Bobby.
I'm sorry. I didn't know you were doing these calling shows anymore.
Well, that's why
I'm very happy now. I could bother you. Guess what? Seahawk was napping, and as soon as I put your voice on, she woke up. I'm not kidding around with you.
And in case anybody that is new, Bobby's cat's name is Seahawk. That's who he's referring to. He says that his cat's in love with me. But
yes, he is. I'm not kidding.
Bobby,
he woke up and
how you holding up? How you holding up with the whole thing?
It's kind of crazy. I just don't know how it started, and it's crazy. But you have to take precautions so people don't die.
Yeah, of course. Of course, man. You gotta be cautious, man. Yeah, man. Obviously, I'm sure you miss sports. I know you're a huge sports fan, and
I love sports. Yeah,
and that's a huge.
But I could.
Go ahead.
But guess what I could do on my YouTube channel now?
What can you do?
I could do trivia.
There you go. Maybe I'll start to do that on my YouTube channel once a week. Maybe I'll do some trivia. Who knows? Yeah, go ahead, buddy.
Do you see the Sports Fury when they were out in California with what's his name? Rocha and Eddie. I saw Eddie. What Eddie looks like? Eddie?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
He looks like, he reminds me of Kid Blue. He's small like Kid Blue.
I'm going to have to check it out after this, though. I'm going to have to check it out, buddy. Go ahead.
Well, you think they're going to have the NFL draft, though? How are going to do that?
Yeah. No, they're definitely going to have the NFL draft. I mentioned
you sure about that?
Yes. I mentioned.
I don't know about that.
I'm not saying it's going to be what the NFL draft is, but they're definitely going to conclude. They're going to have the draft. I mentioned in my video today.
How are going to do that then?
Well, in 1994, if you go back to 1994, they didn't used to have a public draft. It was basically just the GMs were on phones in rooms. And
right, because they go back to the old and remember.
That's
NFL films. Yeah,
that's worst case scenario. They would do something like that, but the draft is going to take place. It's going to happen.
Yeah, because they canceled WrestleManias too. That's
they canceled everything. They shut down Disney World. They shut down everything.
And they shut down everything in New York.
Yeah, no, I mean they're being cautious, man.
Can you work in New York?
Yeah, but we got
still do satellite dish or cable?
Yeah, just got to be safe, man. That's all. Just got to be safe, Bobby.
You look like you lost a lot of weight there, brother.
Actually, now that you say that, I haven't in the streams I mention every now and again. I'm doing a weight loss challenge. With my subscribers, I got up to 216 pounds, and I said if I get to 180, people were begging me to do a 24-hour live stream because Bad Dog did it, and they were like, I want you to, and I said I'm not doing it. I said the only way I'll do it, you know what? I need incentive to lose weight. If I don't hit 180 pounds by June 1st. You can. I'll do it. I'm down to 203.
Well, you look like you lost a lot of weight.
I've lost 13 pounds. I got to lose another 23.
In the face, you look like you lost a lot.
Well, I appreciate that, Bobby.
Well, I got a fat face too. You know that. I got a fat face.
Bobby.
I got a fat everything.
Bobby, I got to let you go. I got a bunch of people calling in, but I appreciate.
Oh yeah, no problem. So every Thursday night you do this now?
I'm gonna try to do it. I'll try to do it at least probably twice a week with the sports being dead. I'll try to do a call-in show like twice a week.
Yeah, I miss talking to you. You know, you're my homeboy. You know that.
I know, Bobby. I appreciate the call.
And
buddy.
then Seahawk says she loves you. Okay.
I love you too, Seahawk. Thank you for calling in, Bobby. Have a good one.
Okay, bye now.
All right. That was Bobby Woodruff. He's definitely a character. Cruise on, man. Thanks so much for the love, man. $2 super chat. He says, get our damn offensive tackle. Let's develop Daniel Jones. Cruise on loves the offensive tackle. That's why I love Cruise on. And let me just, thank you to everybody for being here. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in. Who's this?
You know who it is.
I am not good at memories right now. Who is it?
AJ.
Oh, what's going on, AJ? How you doing, buddy?
Good. It's crazy to see all these events getting shut down at once.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of, not that I'm comparing the two. It's not even close. But in terms of things shutting down, it's kind of like 9/11. I remember when I was in high school after 9/11, all the sports went dormant. Nothing happened for 2 weeks, and then everything came back. I think this could be potentially a little bit longer because it's obviously a virus. It's another, it's something different. But I've gone through this before, but I think this could be a longer period of time without sports. And yeah, man, it makes you realize how much you appreciate the things you love in life.
Yeah, I'm expecting 3 weeks. I'm expecting 3 to 4 weeks of this. And then with it, I think it'll either die off like the swine flu, or still be around but not be as big.
Yeah.
Because I think by then, like a vaccine will be developed.
I hope so. I've read different reports. I've read some people say 12 to 18 months. I've read some people say it could be quicker. I've read some people say it could be longer. Who the hell knows? All I can tell you is make sure you wash your hands. That's all I could tell you. And drink drink a lot of orange juice.
Yeah, and I know we were having a conversation on Discord about this. That's going to be interesting to see what the plans are for the NFL draft.
Yeah, I honestly don't think that they're going to have the traditional NFL draft. I can't see them because we're talking like 5 weeks. I can't see them, and they gotta do it soon. They gotta tell people soon because people are planning to fly down there to go to it. So I think that they will close it off to the public if I had to guess, because anything that involves a large group of people, they're trying to basically steer away from right now. So the NFL draft is going to happen, but I don't think it'll be what we're accustomed to.
Yeah, I can see something like Goodell or the head coaches or general managers like announcing it in like their office or something.
Yeah, it might be just like personnel, like the GM, the coach, whatever. But it's not. I don't think fans will be there.
Yeah, like for example, at number 4, it will be the Giants front office, and Gettleman or Joe Judge will announce the pick.
Right. No, that might very well be what it is, or it could be like Skype. Who knows? But I think it'll be something unconventional, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be. And then that, as well as free agency, is coming up.
Yeah.
As a Rain fan, the number one thing I want us to do is get June on a new contract.
I don't think you're going to do that. I could be wrong.
Sadly, I don't think that's the case, but I really want it just because he was our best edge rusher last year. And if we don't bring him back, that means we'll definitely have to go edge rusher and maybe trade him for Esteneza, or have no idea what we're doing.
I think you're going to tag. We'll see. But it could be a tag and trade situation.
Yeah, and then with the Giants free agency, see what they decide to do.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll go? Do you think they'll go after a guy like Yannick Ngakoue?
No, I don't. I read reports that the Giants were interested in Yannick. After Yannick had been franchise tagged, I don't see the Giants giving up the price that it's going to cost to bring him in. You're talking a late first, early second round type price tag, or trade down from 4 to 9, something like that is feasible, I suppose. I don't think it's going to happen. I really don't. Big at that position. I think it'll be Clowney. Get off the phone with you, but that's crazy. We'll talk about that in a second. Well, Seattle can't take Clowney, from what I understand, because there's some kind of clause or something. He was tagged last year. I don't believe he could be tagged, and if he can, it would be an absorbent amount of money because it would be 2 years in a row you're tagging him. I don't think Seattle's going to tag him. I could be wrong. I don't think that they end up tagging him.
If that's the case, I wonder who he'll end up going to. Yeah, I think Giants probably.
I could see it. That's what I'm not predicting it, but I could see it. I think Van Noy is going to be a Giant if I had to guess, though. I think it'll be Van Noy. But
I could see Van Noy and then probably Clowney going to New England to replace Van Noy.
You never know. I don't know New England's cap space off the top of my head, but I just want to say thank you for calling in. I got a couple of people calling in, trying to get as many people as I can. Thank you for the great call, and I'll talk to you in the Discord and keep washing your hands, man.
All right, yeah, Chris.
Have a good one, buddy. And Cruz on, you are a friggin' lunatic. $2 super chat from Cruz on. He says, Chris, I'm doing a 48-hour fast. Join me. Now, from what I've read with fasting online, basically, what's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in. Who's this?
Hey, this is CJ, man. How's it going?
What's going on, CJ? Thanks for calling in, buddy.
Want to talk about a couple free agent targets?
Yeah, let's go.
What do you think about bringing in Darren Lee? I know. As a Jet, he definitely struggled playing outside for the most part. But he went over to the Chiefs this past year, man. He played pretty dang well in the middle of that linebacking core.
You know what? That's an interesting name that people have brought up to me before. He's definitely a guy with talent. Again, depends on the price, but he could be a very affordable option. It's not a bad suggestion. A couple of people brought him up. It's not a bad suggestion for an affordable price.
Yeah. I like him and then Kendall Fuller playing the slot, man. I think Kendall Fuller at 25 years old coming in shouldn't be one of the I want to get them reps, let them progress, but they're all outside guys. If you bring in somebody like Fuller, let him play in the slot, let those guys, progress on the outside.
Yeah, well, he obviously Logan Ryan's going to be the premier slot guy, but that's not a bad one either. A bunch of my subscribers have mentioned Fuller as well. He's a cheaper alternative.
How old is Ryan? Isn't Logan Ryan like 28, 29 years old?
Yeah, he's up there, but he's going to go for a lot of money though. He's going to go for like 11. Yeah, he'll go for like 11 or 12 $million. But he would be a cheaper alternative. It's another guy a lot of people like. You probably get Fuller for maybe 8.
8, 9 or something like that.
Yeah,
and then
it's not a bad suggestion.
Every time you hear Judge talking about the type of players that he wants, he's always talking about guys that are going to put the team first and all that. And if you look at Fuller, he started playing this year with a cast on one of his hands, and in today's game, that there's plenty of guys out there who would have just taken the time to heal.
It's a good point, and that's one thing I liked reading about Clowney too this year. Everybody said that about him as well, that he he played through injury and he didn't have to. You always like hearing that about players, for sure. Team first guys, but Fuller's a very interesting option, and those are probably more names that we should be looking at. Guys that are not the sexiest of names, but might be the smarter signings. Oh, yeah. The second, guys with upside, maybe that haven't hit their stride yet, or veterans that like Van Noy, someone like that. But Fuller's a great suggestion.
Yeah, I mean, I want to be targeting guys that are between 25 and 27. If I'm signing free agents, I mean. Personally, I don't want to pay anybody $20 million. I mean, outside of your quarterbacks, but
I don't blame you.
I don't want to sign guys. I don't want people under contract after 29. Right? If I'm giving somebody a 4-year contract, I'm giving it to somebody that's no older than 25 years old. And then once you get to 29, if they're still playing at a high level, then you can talk about another contract. But I think that's where we end up getting hurt a lot.
I don't disagree with that. That's why I think a lot of people like Unique because of his age, but like you said, the contract was crazy. But I agree with you. I think the Giants should be targeting younger free agents. The problem with that is usually when you get guys that are very productive, like Conklin, for example, they go for a crazy amount of money because of their age. But maybe you look for bargain guys that maybe haven't quite hit their stride. That have upside.
Somebody that wasn't playing in the right system.
Yeah, Vic Beasley's an example. Not that I love Vic Beasley, but he's a guy, obviously, he led the league in sacks, I think, 2 or 3 years ago. You probably could get him on a very cheap 1-year deal. Guys like that, you get creative, and you try to find guys with upside that are young, and you get them on a bargain. That's smart. That's smart.
They brought in him and then Tack McKinley, both of whom are body style at least probably better set for a 3-4 outside rusher, and they got him playing right on the line in a 4-3, and I think that's why both of those guys in a different system probably have some upside.
Yeah, for sure.
I appreciate you taking the call.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you coming with a good call, man. Great questions, man. Thanks for being a great subscriber, and stay safe, man.
All right, man. You too.
Have a good one. And 1 second, just want to read this super chat from Giants 101. He says, "Who are you taking, Becton or Jedrick Wills?" Okay, and Cruzon said, "I did a 42-hour." Yeah, you are 42 hours. But if I had to pick one, I think I'd go with Jedrick Wills. But I like both. I know most Giants fans are very pro Becton because of his size, and he's a supremely talented player. There's no doubt about it. But I think Wills is a little bit safer. Becton probably has a higher ceiling. And Johnny Boy, thanks so much for the love, man. A little fist bump, man. I really appreciate that. And Cruzon, I'm assuming you're trying to lose weight. I'm curious, how many pounds are you down? And what's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
Hey, what's up, BFF?
BFF? Oh, God. Oh, God. Who said this last time? So, tell me.
You're killing me, Chris. You're killing me. I'm one of your biggest supporters. You're killing me.
I know. Go.
I'm good. I'm just chilling. I'm living the good life in Orlando, so
Good. All right.
But I have a weird scenario, and also I have a comment, because the question I have for you now. Check it out. Obviously, we have the 4th pick. I was doing some numbers. Will you do this trade? The 4th pick.
So what you're saying is,
and Miami has almost like $90 million when they free up enough. So honestly, since they're in a rebuild anyway, taking no Soldier and letting him go next year is not really going to affect them, because they're not going to expect to sign a lot of big contracts. So why not take a big contract, move up a pick, which they don't have to give a second asset to move up, let's say, with the Giants. But, and the same thing for the Giants, we get rid of that big-ass contract, $19 million, because that'll put the Giants at $90 million, almost $100 million, if you think about it.
But the thing, and I love the outside the box thinking, because that's not something I thought about. And I think I always like when people think outside the box. Very smart. But problem is the draft is after free agency, so you all the guys that you'd want to bring in are off the books already. And if you trade Solder, now you got 3 holes on that offensive line instead of 2.
Well, no, not necessarily, because think about this, where you have to consider that a lot of times, a lot of free agents, like the second wave, as they call it, a lot of times they don't sign to the draft to see what certain teams are going to try to do. Now, granted, the Coughlin, certain players, they're going to be, but you got to keep in mind that with the Giants, if they go for tackle, then they'll eat up that. And obviously the hopes and expectation is we get the right tackle. Let's say we hypothetically got Coughlin, then that'll kind of free up that space. Because think about this, all you're doing is substituting, let's say, Nate Soldier contract for Coughlin, and I'm sure you're going to pick down because I know you're a big fan of his.
Yo, of course, yeah.
Contracts.
It's definitely not a horrible idea. It's definitely well thought out, smart idea, something I didn't think about. Me personally, I'd rather. The way I look at the Giants is this: they're not, in my opinion, they're not a team that's going to compete to win a Super Bowl next year anyway. I would rather get the assets and let Solder's contract run out the following year and cut him for $6 million. That's why I'd rather get the young assets in trading down.
Yeah, and then the other thing I was going to make, because the more I've been doing some homework, and I know you like Dalvin Thompson, and they had it on Spot Track, him signing Pratt with the Giants, he's worth around $8 million. I would definitely, now that we got for sure the 99th pick, which is basically a 3rd round, I know it's almost a 4th, I would so let Williams walk at this point. In worst case scenario, if Giants do those big contracts, maybe they'll get a pick. But I'm not a fan of Williams. I've been doing some homework and all this. I know he's going to command the money, but I don't think we're going to get anything. I think the only thing we could probably do is do the transition, and then hopefully someone try to trade with us and then take it off and then maybe do a trade. But I'll leave that on the air because I know you're probably busy, but I'm not a fan. I'm hoping they don't give – this guy better not give him $14, $15 million. Because I think that's one thing we don't need is a tackle where we could use that $15 million, let's say, trying to get a Byron Jones or maybe Middleton, because we talked about the other day. But I love him as a middle linebacker. But anyway, you take care. I'll leave that out there.
Man, I appreciate the call, man. I hope you stay safe. Yvonne, one of my best. Next time I will definitely remember. And I'm a huge fan.
I heard that 4 times in a row, bro. You killing me, though.
But I'm a huge fan.
You know what? I'm going to hold to it. So,
all right.
Take care.
All right, buddy. Have a good one, man. And I am a huge fan of Middleton as well. Who is this? That is Yvonne. And thank you guys for being here. Is Chris my father? Type 1, yes. Type 1. What's up, Dennis Glenn? Thanks for popping in, man. And somebody asked a question. I wanted to see how much weight he lost. Oh, I guess he didn't say it yet. We got another. I think we got Chris Senor here. What is going on? I think we got Chris Senor on the line. What's going on, Chris Senor?
Hey, yo, it's your boy, Senor here. Future astronomer, future special teams coordinator, future golfer. Next Rory McIlroy. But
what's up?
Yo, what's up?
What's up, Senor? How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. Chilling out, looking at some clouds, stuff like that.
You're always looking up at the sky. Every time you call me, you're looking up at the sky. Whether it's the stars, whether it's the clouds.
Yeah. You gotta make that. Astronomy is a pretty important part of life. Like, how are you gonna find your way north if you don't even know what the North Star is?
That's fair. It's a good point. Senor often speaks facts, but so I'm sure you're missing all the sports right now.
Yesterday I was crying for like 5 minutes because first off I was looking at Vince Carter highlights, and second off, it's not sports. So thanks to Rudy Gobert, I'm gonna say Rudy Gobert. Only if some people know what I'm saying Rudy Gobert, but it's sort of like an inside joke. But yeah, sports, it's a big part of my life, big part of your life. I'm guessing, and a big part of everybody's life. So, it's pretty sad. Somebody or a virus just takes it away. So.
Yeah.
It's pretty depressing.
Yeah, I just hope, it's not as long as some people are projecting it to be. Some people are worried it's going to be like a year. Some people are saying it's going to be at least 3 or 4 months. Some people are saying it's going to be 6 months. I just hope it's like 3-4 weeks and we can get back to, normalcy. But we won't know. We won't know for a while.
It's going to be like 30 days. That's what they're saying, 30 days, or a minimum of 30 days.
Yeah, they're saying 30. Chinese. Yeah, they don't know. They're saying that's when they'll reevaluate in 30 days.
The thing is that they got that 30 days from the Chinese, because you know how the Chinese have their own NBA, or not NBA league, basketball league?
Yeah.
They've been closed since January. They haven't played basketball since January, so, that's why they're saying 30 days. But, I think it's going to take a lot longer than 30 days, and honestly, I could see them not even playing a finals game this year. I hate to say it though, but I could see. I think they might not even play a playoff game or finals. They might just go straight to the draft, because this thing can get really serious. But enough to talk about this coronavirus. Let's talk about the Giants.
Let's talk about the Giants. What do you
everybody's hyped. Everybody's hyped around 2-14 team. But it's okay. I can't even speak because I'm a Chargers fan. We've been losing for 50 years. But are you still locked on? It was Jedrick Wills, I believe, that you were saying you wanted at 6. Are you still locked on to Wills, or do you want somebody else?
If I had to pick an offensive, if we're talking just offensive linemen, like I said, I wouldn't be upset with any of them, the top 4. But if I had to pick one right now, I'm probably leaning actually Tristan Wirfs.
Yeah, same. If the Chargers were to take an offensive line, which I probably have them going offensive line at 6, honestly, it could be Wills or Wirfs. I would rather have Wirfs because we have a bad history with Alabama offensive linemen. So I don't know. I don't know who the Chargers would take. Honestly, it's like the biggest mystery. It's sort of like you guys last year, because last year you guys wanted Josh Allen, and then you guys got quarterback in Daniel Jones. So we might get. We might get Tristan Wirfs if he falls there, and not even ignore quarterback for the rest of the draft. So, it's just it's a big mind game. It's
Well, that's what the draft is, and that's what the general managers want it to be. They don't want you to know who they're going to take.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. It's like a puzzle sort of. But yeah, with the whole Giants thing, I think you have to build from the defense, because that's probably your weakest point last year. You guys could honestly take care of offensive line later in the draft. If you trade down with something like the Raiders and you get 2 picks in the first round, you go linebacker or a cornerback or whatever in the first round, or the first pick, and then the second round, or the second pick in the first round, you take somebody like Austin Jackson if he goes up. But he's not probably going to be a first round pick, but you're going to get a 27th pick or something like that. You go Austin Jackson. You go Chris Jones. There's a lot of players that you can go if you trade down. But I think at 4, I think it's reasonable to say Isaiah Simmons, and I think that's where you guys are going to go because I don't see the Chargers trading up for a quarterback that's been talked about being a bust now. And Herbert.
And I honestly don't understand that talk. I don't think Herbert had a bad combine. I don't understand that talk. I think it's nonsense. I think it's smoke.
Exactly, yeah.
But I agree with you. If the Giants stay at 4 and he's there, let's not rule out the possibility that the Lions could take Isaiah Simmons. But if
Okudah is there too. So unless like the what's called the Redskins pass on Chase Young, which they probably won't. Falls to Detroit. Detroit could take Isaiah Simmons. You guys could even be in the possible race of Okudah or possibly Chase Young. So a lot of options at number 4.
Yeah, if he's there right now before free agency, I'm leaning. That's why I had him mocked to the Giants. Before free agency, I do think that if he's there, the Giants would take Simmons if they stay at 4. Now, they could definitely trade down. But, yeah, I think he fits what Joe Judge is trying to do, and I think the Giants desperately need a linebacker. So we're just going to have to wait and see. Like you said, it's a big puzzle, and the first big piece comes after free agency. That's when we start to solve the puzzle.
One more point here about Herbert. Herbert's my dude. He's the way, in my opinion. He's going to be probably the best quarterback, in my opinion, of the draft. I don't get why people are referring him to a bust. I mean, there's no reason because he has a 4.0 GPA at school, and this is not. It doesn't acquire, like, you don't need a 4.0 to be a football player, but people are like, oh yeah, he has like mental issues and stuff like that. Like he can't, like he has decision making issues and stuff like that. I'm like, he threw 6 interceptions the whole entire year. He has a 4.0 GPA. He waited until his senior to leave college so he can be like a brain surgeon or something. Like, he's like a surgeon or something like that, a doctor. And I mean, people are saying that he has mental issues. I mean, that's like probably one of the most stupidest reason I've heard somebody that's been called a bust, especially as a quarterback. It's all about using your head. That's why Peyton Manning's so good. That's why Peyton Manning's, in my opinion, probably one of the greatest quarterbacks. But I don't want to take your time here, Chris. One more thing I gotta say is Carlos is a pretty sexy dude, and he's pretty hot. So.
God, Sonor the troll, man. Thanks, Sonor, for calling. I appreciate it, buddy. I appreciate it.
No problem, Chris.
I'll see you in the Discord. Have a good one. One of my best. And King26 Reyes with the $2 donation. Thanks a lot for the love, man. He says, Wills or Thomas at OT, Wirfs is a guard. A lot of people think Wirfs would be best suited at the guard. If the Giants drafted him, I think they would start him at the right tackle and potentially transition him to the guard after Zeitler moved on. But I think he would start as a right tackle. But, yeah, if you're looking for a left tackle, you're probably not taking Tristan Wirfs. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in. Who's this?
Hey, Chris Clarks.
What's going on, Clarks? How you been, buddy?
I've been good. What happened? I saw that you put out a post that you were going to change the date till tomorrow for the call show.
Yeah, I was.
Everything all right?
Oh, everything's fine. Yeah, no, I was gonna do the call-in show tomorrow, and then I posted my video tonight, and Ms. Rahi, one of my best subscribers, posted. He said, "Listen, I could really use the call-in show tonight with with all the sports down and everything else. I'd like to talk sports, so I bumped it up to tonight." And, yeah, maybe I'll even do something tomorrow, too. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But, yeah, I just wanted to talk sports, man. I love talking sports just as much as you guys do. So you guys help me in times like this, as much as you guys tune into my show. But what's up, buddy?
All right. Well, I really enjoyed a talk that you had the other day about the salary cap, something that I'm totally passionate about. I just want to read you off a little list, and you just, right now, just take these names and put them in the back of your head. Jim Plunkett, Jim McMahon, Phil Simms, Doug Williams, Jeff Hostetler, Mark Ripien. Let's go down a little bit. Let's see who. Trent Dilfer, Brad Johnson, Nick Foles, Joe Flacco. Okay, these guys are never going to be in the Hall of Fame, and they're all Super Bowl winning quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. What did they have? They had a great offensive line and good defenses.
Right.
I totally agree with you about whoever is the new quarterback that's up on this perpetual merry-go-round that's either average or good. They're getting salaries between $30 and $40 million.
Yeah, it's crazy.
To me, there's only two positions in football that your success is not contingent on so many people around you. That's, believe it or not, a field goal kicker, and believe it or not, it's a cover corner. Because I played football, played high school football, Division II college football. I know that you've probably been out there where cover corners play, and you really are on an island. If you get beat, it's disgusting. There's nobody to help you. And as far as a field goal kicker, if you have a dynamite leg, the bottom line is that you're going to be paid accordingly. My thing is that why haven't GMs seen the light of day in that quarterbacks like Tannehill, who are average to good, that if you put 2 tackles, 2 offensive linemen, a center, a halfback that could pick up blitzes and receivers that can catch, that all this, you could have the arm of John Elway, the release point of Dan Marino, and the accuracy of Aaron Rodgers. But if you don't have any time to throw the ball, and if you don't have receivers that could separate from their defensive coverage, the bottom line is I don't care who you are, you're not going to be good. So your success as a quarterback is totally contingent on the people around you. It's that simple. I didn't make up the rules. This is what it is. You could be as great as you are, but if you don't have any time to throw the ball, and I know that you agree with this.
No, I do. I do agree. I mean, now I'll say this, and I do agree with you. I will say this. There are certain quarterbacks that could overcome things more than others, like Pat Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers, I think, are on another level in terms of talent. But you're absolutely right. First off, to try to find a guy like Pat Mahomes, he's a diamond in the rough. He's a once-in-every-10-year type quarterback, if that. So you can't bank your franchise's future on that. So I agree with you. If I'm building a team, I try to build it from the offensive line. I try to build it through the defense. And you're not going to find guys like Pat Mahomes. So I completely agree with you. And I don't believe in overpaying quarterbacks. It's something I've been very outspoken about. I
know you have.
Yeah, I think the market for the quarterback is insane. And I would not spend that kind of money on a guy that's not an elite quarterback. I would sooner draft one in the 5th year of the guys. Like if I was the Cowboys, as crazy as some people may think this is, and I'm not bashing Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott has everything that you just said. Last year
you're preaching to the converted. I think he's average at best.
Yeah, he had the number 1 ranked run blocking and number 2 ranked pass blocking. So now what you're going to do when you're paying this guy $1 million, now you're going to give this guy $35 million a year. What's going to happen to the rest of your roster? So
I 100% agree.
That's my mindset. I would sooner draft a quarterback in the 5th year of Dak's deal, try to mold him, have him on a rookie deal, and continue to build my team the way I've built it to set it up for success. Unless I have an elite talent.
No, I agree. Look at this. Like Joe Gibbs, he took 2 different average quarterbacks, Ripien and Doug Williams, to Super Bowl wins. Look at I know that Parcells got lucky the second time, but Sims and Hostetler. And obviously Bill Walsh took 2 Hall of Famers, but I think it's his system in Montana and Young. My whole thing is that why don't the GMs and now that quarterbacks are now having a new mold, like now it's the scrambling out of the pocket quarterback, so we're getting more quarterbacks now because it's more of an athletic position, not just a Dan Marino, go back, I can't move. Thank God he had Stevenson at center, but he can't move. And, but those type of quarterbacks, they're revolutionizing the position. So I think we're going to get more of them. Why doesn't GMs become of the notion that we're going to pay $3 to $4 million more. We're going to give our quarterback $18 to $20 million, not $35 to $40. We're going to give him half, and then we're going to put that money. This is why Tom Brady is so successful, because of his financial situation. He was able to take a lot less money, and maybe it wasn't spent on receivers. He threw to 3 midgets and 1 Hall of Famer in Randy Moss.
Yeah.
But he had an offensive line where he could have a cup of coffee back there. He did back a good quarterback is let's give him 5 to 6 seconds to throw the ball. Why isn't this? Why are we still signing the Matt Ryans? And even though I love him to death as you do, the guy Russell Wilson. I love Russell Wilson is a diamond in the rough. But the bottom line is that I'm surprised that Seattle didn't take a bigger hit by giving him this amount of money. You see, the thing about it is that in baseball, Chris, pitchers and hitters make the most money. Why? Because a hitter gets in there with nobody else to help him. It's an individualistic sport, and the pitcher does the same. He's putting his talents against the talents of the. So that's fine. It's individualistic. In football, as a quarterback, there's not another position in all of football that you're more reliant on everybody around you. Because, as I said, you can have all the talent in the world, but the bottom line is that if you don't have receivers to separate, if you don't have an offensive line to give you time, and if you don't have that Zeke Elliott that could pick up a blitz like a madman, the bottom line is that you're not going to be successful. So why isn't this the status quo now? The same way that they've totally revolutionized what a running back means to a team, and they've totally lowered, the salary for that guy. Why haven't they seen this with top quarterbacks that it's good just to get an average quarterback? As I read the list, all those average quarterbacks who won Super Bowls, and the one guy who won 6 won it because, honestly, I totally believe, number one, it's the coach, but number two, it's because he gave up so much money.
That's not talked about enough. I agree with you. The reason that he won, and that's a credit to Tom Brady. He chose winning over millions. He was willing to take substantially less than other quarterbacks to be able to keep the roster around him that he needed to succeed. I completely agree with that. I do think that the most over, and it's the most important. You're never going to hear me say that the quarterback's not the most important position, because it is, but you're completely right about that. You're preaching to the choir. You need all the other pieces around him to be successful. Our quarterback's a perfect example of it. Look at the first half of Eli Manning's career. Look at the second. First half, he was set up for success. Then he got paid. Our offensive line went to complete hell because we couldn't draft, and we didn't have cap space to surround him with talent. So
well said.
You need a foundation. But Clocks, I'm gonna let you go. I got a lot of people calling in, man. But great call.
You got it, pal.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks for calling, man. I hope you're safe, buddy.
Stay safe.
Let's see. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in. What's up, Lake Nona? Thanks for popping in. Rudy's in the chat. Well, who's this?
Yo, what's up, entertainer, bro?
What's going on? Who's this?
Hey, man. Yo, I just have a question, man. What's your thoughts on Simmons and Zach Vaughn, bro?
What's my thoughts on Simmons? I mean, they're both very good players. I'd be very happy if we got Vaughn in the second round. I think he's a perfect fit. Very much like Van Noy, like I said today in my video. I personally don't think he's going to get to 36, but if he's there, I'd be ecstatic if we got him. I think he's going to be a very good player, and he fits exactly what we're looking to do. And I mean, Simmons is a no-brainer. Simmons is going to be one of the better coverage linebackers in football.
Yeah, but man, I'm thinking, man, I think we're gonna get both, bro. We're gonna have a lethal duo down there, bro.
Maybe. Hey, it depends on what we do in free agency. Talk to me after free agency. Let's see if we address the offensive line in free agency. But if we address the O-line in free agency and you get those two players, I won't be upset about it. I like both those players. I think they'd help our defense a lot. They're both incredibly versatile and both talented.
Yeah, man, I'm thinking, you know what, man? Just count me on this day, man. I'm telling you, bro, I think we're going to get both of them, man. We're going to get a good linebacker core again.
I wouldn't be upset as long as we focus on the O-line as well. I wouldn't be upset. Bourne's one of my favorite players in this draft. I really like Bourne a lot.
Yeah, he's underrated.
Yeah, I don't think he's getting to us, though. I think if we want him, we're going to have to trade up. I honestly think he's going to go.
Really?
Yeah, I think he's going to go in the high 20s. I could be wrong, but right now, that's what I feel.
Wait, what team would be looking at him then? At the high 20s?
Seahawks could at 27, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Seahawks could.
Yeah.
There's a couple of other teams. I don't know off the top of my head, but there's a couple other teams. But the Seahawks could make sense.
Yeah.
New England could make sense too, actually.
Oh, New England, yeah. You're right about New England. But I'll probably do Seahawks though, because Seahawks are gonna lose Clowney and shit. So.
Yeah, and the Patriots are losing Collins and Van Noy, so they could use one as well.
Yeah, we might take Van Noy, man. So I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see, man. But thank you for calling in, man. I appreciate it, and thank you for the question.
All right.
Be safe. Have a good one. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
Hey, what's up, man? It's Shamari, man.
Shamari, what's up, buddy? And what's going on, Uzi? Thanks for popping into the stream. Thank you to everybody for being here, by the way. I hope everybody's having a good time. What's up, buddy?
I'm gonna say it one time for you. Stand up.
There you go. What's up, my man?
Yeah. All right. All right. My question is for you. Is really a couple, but I'm not gonna be on too long. I'm still sold on the Redskins getting the DB at 2. I talked to you before about that.
Yes, you are definitely in the minority there of Okudah going number 2 overall. But maybe you look like a genius on draft night. One of my best subscribers for Q-Dog for months told me Daniel Jones was going 6, and he was right. So you never know.
Yeah. So my question for you and your personal opinion, let's say we don't go Simmons. Let's say we don't go Chase Young. And how would you feel if we went, I might assassinate his name, but to Davian Chatham, LSU linebacker,
Caleb
/ edge rusher?
Yeah, Caleb.
I mean, I would not be upset at all because last year I was pretty high on Devin White, and LSU uses both of them the same way, and they're pretty much split in image.
Well, you know who's a lot like Devin White also is Queen. Not that I'd want to take him at 4, but the linebacker Patrick Queen as well. But as far as Caleb goes, I mean, I personally don't want him at 4, but I really like him. I think he fits. Yeah. I think he fits what the Giants would be looking to do. I mentioned him earlier. If we traded down with the Raiders and got 12 and 19, that's a guy I got my eye on. I do like him a lot. He's one of my favorite players in the first round. And I think he would be a really good fit for the Giants. Just for me personally, not at 4.
Yeah, because clearly when I watched, I'm trying to think of what it's called. Giant Life. You know, I'm pretty sure we all watch it. You know, with the scouts all saying we all will be going to LSU. So, you know, I just feel like, you know, hey, you know, that guy is good. You know, and he was consistent. I have a slight problem with Chase Young. Was that he did the same thing that Jadeveon Clowney did as far as regress and try to, you know, regress late in the season. And I'm not really too high on Jadeveon Clowney in the league right now because I feel like, you know, he kind of backs off on plays sometimes, and he's pretty much, he accumulates a lot of penalties.
Yeah, I mean, I like Clowney. I think he's a very good player, but it is definitely very fair to say that he did not live up to his expectations. That's for damn sure. He was as talked about as anybody at the edge rusher position when he first came in the league.
Yeah.
I think he's talented, but I think if the Giants bring him in, you're overpaying. But the problem is, if you bring in any of these top guys at free agency, you're overpaying. So that's something that we got to swallow if they decide to do it.
Yeah.
But I am completely with you, just not at 4, but I am completely with you on Caleb. I think he is going to be a fantastic player if you put him in the right system, and I think the Giants would be the right system.
Yeah. Because, I think a lot of those LSU guys are fit in anybody's system. And then, you know, we pretty much had success with LSU prospects, you know, just the whole state of Louisiana. I mean, come on, Eli's Louisiana.
Odell Beckham. Beckham, yeah.
And Corey Webster.
Yeah.
You know? So, I mean, you know, it is what it is, you know. You know, Odell was good for us when he was with us, and, you know, he had his temper tantrums and whatnot. And, you know, I don't know if a couple of guys did some videos on Eli. And, you know, the thing with Eli and Odell was that, you know, Eli would give Odell the ball. Like, if Odell cried on the field, the very next play, Eli would just be like, well, you know what, I'm going to shut him up. I'm going to throw him the ball. Don't care if it's double or triple coverage. I'm just going to throw him the ball.
Right.
Because, you know, and it's almost like he wanted to be the show. You know, instead of playing football, I just want to one-hand catch everything. I want to make a spectacular play every play instead of just being consistent and, you know, just doing your job. But other than that, we never had any problems with anybody from the state of Louisiana. Maybe Landon Collins after he left. You know.
Yeah, Landon Collins when he was here was never an issue.
Yeah.
And the thing with Odell Beckham, as much as I always kind of show that I'm not the biggest fan of his, there's a lot of receivers like that. You know, that's a position that's known to be kind of a diva position. Beckham was great while he was here, but I as I always say, I completely understand why the Giants moved on from him.
Mm-hmm.
But go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, I like all of the LSU prospects this year. I really do. And like I said, I'm still I was kind of, you know, cringing when we didn't get Devin White last year. I'm not upset about Daniel Jones at all. I'm not upset.
Daniel Jones is good, man. He's just got to work on the fumbling problems. But he's going to be a good quarterback. He just work on the fumbling problems.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what though. I like Patrick Queen in the second round, possibly. That's another guy. If he's there, I don't think he will be. But if he falls to the second round, that's another guy I got my eye on.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm looking forward to who we're gonna get in the first. And I'm sticking to my guns. I said it. I'm gonna stick with it. Redskins gonna DB it too.
We'll see, man. If it happens, I'm shouting you out on the live stream. You are getting the biggest shout out because I think you're the only person I know that's picking that, and that would be a hell of a pick.
Yeah.
But man, I just want to say, man, you're one of my best, man. I always say thank you for all your support on my channel.
Yeah, no problem, man. If I wasn't too bad in the financial struggle, I'll always super chat.
I just hope you stay safe, man, and stay out of trouble with this whole thing.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I heard it's not so great in New York. I talked to my brother, and he says,
I got a couple people calling in, but man, I hope you have a great night, and thank you for tuning into the show.
Oh, I'm still here. I'll be listening in.
Sounds good, my man. Sounds good, buddy. Have a good one. Man. And 1 second, just want to read King 26 Reyes super chat. Thank you so much, man. $5 super chat. He says, "Yo, man, love your content. Love listening to your stuff at work. Helps the day go by a lot faster. Helping us stay informed." Man, I love you, man. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. All my direct subscribers that are in here that always show me support. Thank you to everybody. And you guys, like I always say, man, give me a lot of inspiration for putting out as much work as I do. And oh man, Alan, thank you so much, man, for the $10 super sticker. #1 fan. I've never gotten that one. Apparently, Alan, but I'm gonna screw up his last name, but is my #1 fan. I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much. What's going on? You're on live. Who's this?
Hello, Chris. It's your favorite 7-round mock drafter here.
What is going on? The sports influencer. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, where's that 7-round mock draft at?
Not yet. After free agency, that's when I'm going to do the Giants 7-round. I'm not doing the complete. Yeah. I'm not doing the complete league. I'm gonna do a few of them. I'm gonna do a few 7-round Giant specific mock drafts after free agency.
Sounds good. Well, hope everyone's safe where you are. We've been out of luck with the sports, and it sounds like they're thinking about pushing back the free agency thing, which is some more bad luck for us. Have you heard about that? I don't know, because it came out while you guys were streaming.
I did hear. I read right before I went live. Not that it was definitive, but that it's possible that they might push it back.
Yeah. So I just came with one thing. Well, you really like Dion Lewis as the running back 2 for Saquon Barkley. I think he's good. He's 29, fast, good third down back. If you want to touch up on that a little bit more, I know you made a video on it.
Yeah.
But I really like him as a player.
Dion Lewis, I'm not going to cry if we bring him in, especially if it's a cost-effective contract. I don't think he's going to make much because he's going to be 30 next year. He is exactly what you just said. He's a third down back. But me personally, not the type of running back I want to bring in to back up Saquon Barkley. I'd rather bring in a guy that does what you don't want Saquon to do, which is fight for those tough yards in between the guard and the tackle. Like a Brandon Jacobs type back, like I said in the video. Who that guy is, I don't know. Jordan Howard's a name I've floated about, but I would rather a bigger back, a guy that, I could get on the 3rd and inches, the 4th and 1s, maybe somebody that's really good in pass protection. But I do like Lewis. I think he's going to be a very affordable option. I just don't know if he's the best fit for the Giants.
Yeah, now, again, I didn't really come prepared, but one more thing I wanted to touch up on. Cameron Wake, he's old DNs, played for Broncos, left the Titans. Do you think that maybe, like in Antoine Bethea, he could come in as an older player to teach the young defensive line that we are going to hopefully bring in the draft?
Yeah, that's a good question. I personally do not want to bring him in because he's 38 years old. But it's not a horrible suggestion. If I'm going for an older defensive end, if they're available, one guy that's not being talked about enough is what's his name? The guy that was on the Cowboys last year, the defensive end that's available. I always say his name. I forgot it off the top of my head, but I like him a lot. And the guy in the Panthers, I really like. But Mario Addison. But I 38 to me, it's just too old. I personally would not look to bring him in, but it's possible. Anything's possible. I would not look to bring him in, though, not at that age.
Yeah, but they did it with Antoine Bethea. Gettleman did it last year. I could see it happening again. Didn't do as well at the Titans, but, just for that experience.
Robert Quinn, Moose. Yes, that's who I was talking about. Robert Quinn is the guy from the Cowboys.
Yeah, I just think someone with that veteran presence we need to bring in again to teach that younger. I don't know if you're high on that, but I think that we need to spend low money on a player like that. Do you think that we need to bring in any positions, like a veteran player in any of those positions?
To me, the most important spot for a veteran, if we're going to bring one in, is the cornerback spot, because they're all second-year pros. I would like an established veteran in free agency at that spot for sure. It doesn't have to be somebody who's 35 years old, but I would like somebody who's at least played in the NFL for at least 4 or 5 years at that position. It would kind of take some of the pressure off DeAndre Baker.
Yeah. Well, this next couple of days is huge for this Giants team. The free agency talk. I didn't really come prepared again. I got to do my homework. But that's it. That's all I want to talk about.
No, man. Are you kidding me, man? You got to do your homework. What do you mean? School's canceled, isn't it?
No, I got a delay tomorrow. It's not canceled yet.
Oh, all right. Get the homework, man. What are you doing? Thank you for calling in, buddy. I appreciate it.
Stay safe.
Have a good one. And one second, just want to read these super chats. Thank you guys for the love, man. I really appreciate it. Crispy Cracker in the chat with the $2 donation. He says, I don't want you to get CV. If you did, this is for medical. It would cost me a lot more. Crispy Cracker, I appreciate the donation, man. It would cost me a lot more, and hopefully I do not get it, because it is expensive. I feel bad for you. Actually, I don't hate Jet fans. I have a lot of friends that are Jet fans. But, man, thank you for the love, man. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a great subscriber. And Andrew Christopher says hi. Andrew Christopher, if you watch my videos, that's his comment in every one of my videos, but I can never say thank you enough for all of his love and all of his support. Always shouts me out on Twitter, always comments on my videos, so I really appreciate it. And Malik with the $5 donation, he says, hey, sup, yo, they just closed down school for my state, so please post a lot of videos. Going to be bored, and my season for track might be over. I'm going to do my best, Malik. We'll see. I'm going to try my best to do as much content as I can, being that, it's down. And my God, you guys are great. Jeff, thank you so much. $2 super chat. He says, can't see them taking Simmons. I think Okudah or O-line. Definitely a possibility. I have said from the start that Okudah is definitely a possibility. Don't rule him out. But thanks for the love. What's going on? Sorry about that. Who's this?
This is Cody, the guy that used to talk to you about Eli Manning when he got ready to retire.
What's up, Cody?
How you doing? Cody Dunbar.
What's up, man?
I've been subscribing to you for a very long time.
Not
much, just hearing everybody talking about the free agency. I'm ready to see what happens with the Giants. The Giants need a lot of big needs. They need an offensive line. They need to help Daniel Jones out. A lot of people are trashing Daniel Jones. I mean, I was one of them. I didn't like the fact that he was starting over Eli. I was the one that was telling you about, we need to keep Eli, but we knew he was bound to happen to retire. But they got to help this kid out. He can't do it all on his own, so we need to start surrounding him with an offensive line. We need guys like 6'7", 6'8". We need big, tall guys that actually can athletic.
You're
around this guy,
Yeah, and Crispy Cracker, thank you for the love, man. And maybe now I could get that shot. Thank you very much for the donation. But no, you're preaching to the choir. I mean, anybody that watches my channel knows I'm all about the offensive line. I'm all about the hog mollies. I'm lockstep with Dave Gettleman. I want them to improve it.
They really need, to improve. Mainly, it's the right side. I mean, you got Kevin Zeitler at right guard. Give him another piece next to him, literally. That right side, Barkley loves running to the right every single time. He loves it.
Well, that's why I know he's very overpriced, but that's why if you could bring in somebody like Jack Conklin, that guy is a mauler when it comes to run blocking, and the same thing with Tristan Wirfs. That's why I really like Tristan Wirfs if they're able to trade down and get him. That guy. You see some of his tape. That guy's impressive.
I want to see what we do on defense in free agency. I really like the guy from Jacksonville. I know he's overpriced and everybody's saying he's not good, but for 37.5 sacks for his career, that's pretty good for a 25, 26-year-old.
Oh,
Neat Ngwaye.
You'll never hear me say he's not good. He's definitely good. He's definitely good. Now, the problem with him, one, yeah, you're going to have to pay him an arm and a leg, but two, now you got to trade for him because he was franchise tagged. So
right.
You're going to have to give up like a second-round pick. Are you willing to do that? Are you willing to give up the 36 pick and take on $22 million worth of cap?
I'm just saying, the guys gave you 14 forced fumbles. He's got 122 total tackles, 2 defensive touchdowns. When's the last time we've had a guy like that, in that position? Osi Umenyiora.
That's who I say it all the time. That's who he reminds me of. He reminds me of Osi Umenyiora. He's very similar to Osi Umenyiora.
If we can't get him, there's other names. There's Eric Armstead out of the 49ers. Get a D-line out of there.
Yeah.
For free agency.
There's
Corey.
You got the guy from the Rams. What's his name?
Corey Littleton, linebacker.
Well, Littleton's the linebacker, but no, the Dante Fowler. There's
Dante Fowler. That's another one. Yep, I've got his name written down.
Yeah.
They got Everson Griffin from the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota's letting go of Trey Waynes. They're trying to free up cap space like crazy.
Trey Waynes is an interesting one too. That a lot of people aren't talking about as a veteran corner. He's an interesting guy. Right.
I want to see us get Kyle Van Noy. I really like him. I really do. We need to have his presence. He's got a leadership. If we can't, the other guy I'd like to see at safety is Devin McCourty. I think he's probably the best ball hawking safety we could have since Stevie Brown.
I like McCourty on a short deal. I like McCourty.
Because I think about 1 or 2 years max.
Yeah, even 3 years with the ability to get out after 2. Like if you're not taking a cap it after 2. I like McCourty.
Right.
I think McCourty's would bring a good veteran presence, and last year he was still really good.
Right.
I wouldn't mind McCourty on a short deal. Wouldn't mind it at all.
Okay. What about Anthony Harris?
Another interesting name. There's so many guys.
I know.
You mentioned Armstead. Armstead to me, and I know a lot of people like him. The one question I have with Armstead is he didn't really take off until last year when you added Bosa and when you added D Ford. So
right, exactly.
Did that have something to do with his increase in production?
Say the same thing about Dante Fowler.
Exactly.
Ever since you had Aaron Donald, it's the same scenario.
Yeah. So
let me ask you this. My quick question is, what do you think about Torres?
What do I think about?
We got Alex Tanney for 1 year. Would you look at Marcus Mariota or Teddy Bridgewater at all?
Yeah, I've seen people bring up both of those guys as potential backups. Here's the first question I have. One, with Teddy Bridgewater, in my opinion, if he's going to be a backup, he's going to stay where he is because he knows Drew Brees is probably retiring after this year. Then he becomes the starting quarterbaip.
Well,
from what I've read about, go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, they're keeping Taysom Hill.
Yeah, I know.
You know they ain't going to let him go.
Yeah.
So I don't think they're going to pay all 3 players to stay on one team. They ain't got the money for that.
No, they're not.
They can only pay 2 quarterbacks. So.
But from what I've heard with Bridgewater, he thinks he's going to be a starter. He thinks he could command $30 million a year. So I think he's looking for a starting gig. I don't think he's looking to sign somewhere to be a backup. As far as Mariota goes, I've heard him too. Mariota, first off, is going to cost you at least $6-7 million. I would think. Where you could get a guy like, an older guy for $2 million. The other thing with Mariota, at least in my opinion, he's at least accomplished enough where if I'm him, why the hell am I signing on with the Giants? I've seen people mention his name. Why am I going to go to a team where I know I'm the clear backup when I could go to a team like the Chicago Bears, maybe compete against Mitch Trubisky? I could go to
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm not against bringing in an accomplished backup. I was just saying, we need to at least have somebody just in case if Jones goes down. That's all. Oh, I agree.
Is not the option.
I completely agree with you. I made a video on that. I completely agree with you. And there's a couple of guys.
Yeah, I've watched every single video of yours, so I keep up with you every day.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, no, there's
Absolutely.
Like Mike Glennon's a guy that's had moderate success in the league. You could probably get for cheap. Chase Daniels is another one. There's a couple of guys out there that are veterans that they could step in for 2 or 3 games and be successful. But I don't think Mariota's in the cards.
Right. Well, here's the other question. What about I haven't named any of these guys, but what about HaHa Clinton Dix and Blake Martinez from Green Bay? Could they be a good fit for the Giants? Linebacker Blake Martinez and HaHa Clinton Dix, the safety.
Clinton Dix was a name that was flirted with last year, and he's definitely another guy that's kind of underperformed. You might be able to get on a really cheap deal. The thing with Blake Martinez is a tackle machine, right? If you look at his numbers, the guy had 150 tackles last 3 years, every year.
Right.
But he is so bad in coverage. He is really bad.
That's true.
But if you could get him for $7 million and he could be that traditional, I'm not paying $13-14 million a year for Blake Martinez. But if you get him on a moderate contract, I'd be willing to do it.
Well, I think what the Giants need to do in this draft, I mean, I understand free agency come first, but we don't need to be spending $200 million like we did on defense that 1 year. We can't go back to cap hell. We can't do that.
I agree with you.
But I do believe that they will go first with defense and free agency. I know Jack Conklin should be the option to get an offensive tackle. But if you trust somebody in this draft, like you said, you could get Tristan Wirfs. You could get Andrew Thomas. You could go, of course, the big dude, 6'7", 364 pounds, running a 5'11".
Mekhi Becton. That guy's a monster.
I really like him. And what's funny is they said that Will Hernandez had a reaction of his 40-yard dash time, and he said, "Holy smokes!" I think that's like the next refrigerator. You know, from back in the days, they used to make
refrigerator Perry. Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, I hope the Giants, they just need to get back to the days of physical football. And I love Joe Judge. I really do.
Yeah.
And I think he's got a bright future for our team. And I know people are like, the Giants are going to take Patriots players. They're going to take Dallas players. I understand Byron Jones is one of the big options at corner, but I don't believe that should be the pick, to, like, grab him in free agency because that's a high price. I mean, no matter what, we're going to be spending money in free agency. We know that. Teams have to do that. So
yeah, it's just a matter of do you spend it on 4 and 5 year deals or do you try to spend it on 2 and 3 year deals?
It's like what the Patriots have done, just like Pittsburgh. They don't try to get a lot of players. They try to wait till the draft. I mean, the Giants. It's always good to build through the draft. Mainly get the young players cheap deals.
100%
instead of paying top dollars. Yeah,
you're preaching to the choir.
Clowney. Just saying real quick. I know I've been stuttering a lot, but it's just
not at all, man. You're doing a great job, man. Not at all, man. You're doing a great job.
But Jadeveon Clowney, my thing is with him, we don't need half a body. The reason why I brought up Jacksonville's pass rusher, he's 25-26. Jadeveon Clowney is half the version of what he's supposed to be. Ever since he came in the NFL, he worked his way from J.J. Watt to now Seattle. Why did he go to Seattle? He thought he could get to a contending team. Now he thinks that he can go to the Giants because we have the most money. Why doesn't he go somewhere else? Why does he want to go to the Giants for the most money? Because we have the cap space. We don't really have the most money.
I think he just sees a team that's desperate to add a pass rusher and that has money to spend. That's what he sees. But I gotta let you go, man. I got a lot of people calling in. But I just want you too, man. And I want you to stay healthy, man. Thank you for the call, buddy.
Yes, sir. Absolutely, always.
Have a good one, man. And what's going on? I just want to read these super chats real quick, man. Thank you guys for all your love. Big Bang with a $2 super chat. He says, "You heard about Evan Ingram to the Chicago rumor?" I have not, but I will look into that after this. Can you just do me a favor, turn that volume down?
You too, man. And I want you to stay healthy, man. Thank you.
I'm going to have you call back. I can't have the volume in the background. Just 1 second. Malik with the $5 super chat. He says, "I will literally jump out the window if we draft a tackle because for years we are never able to since the Super Bowl." And Chase Claypool. I love Chase Claypool. If we're going to take him, though, I think it's got to be round 2, Malik. And I would love a tackle, man. But they got to hit on the tackle. They've missed on tackles in the past, but I would love a tackle. And Cruzon with the $2 super chat. Can we please replace Jeffrey Abbey with a real child? Hey, man, Jeffrey Abbey is a guy that's very... He's not scared to share his opinions, and he's going to stick by him. That's Jeffrey Abbey, man. But Cruzon, man, thanks for love. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in. Who's this?
Ezra Winslow.
What's going on, buddy? Thanks for calling in.
Yep. So my school goes down like the whole Bergen County where I live.
Oh, wow.
Like all 75 schools or something like that.
Wow. Well, at least you get to stay. At least you get to stay home, but you got to stay safe.
Yeah, I've been watching you all day.
I appreciate that. I'm gonna try to go live Whenever I can. I don't know if I don't know if I'll do back-to-back nights, but I'm going to try to do 2, maybe 3 calling because I know it's a dead time. I know people want to talk sports, and there's no sports on, so I'm going to try to do it as often as possible. I just don't want it to get too redundant. But what's up, buddy? What did you want to talk? What do you want to talk about?
The first round, I want either Okuda or Simmons. I don't want an offensive lineman. The only player that I want to spend on is Conklin. That's it.
So you want defense at 4 no matter what.
Yeah.
And who do you like? If you had to pick one of those 2 players, who would you rather have, Okuda or Simmons?
I don't know. It's really hard for me to pick. I'd rather Simmons. Also, I feel like everybody's sleeping on Grant Delpit, the safety.
Grant, I like Grant. I mean, you're not taking him till round 2, but I do like Grant Delpit.
Maybe if we trade back.
Yeah, I mean, Delpit was being mocked into the mid-first round like a month ago. Now he's slipping back to the second round in a lot of mocks. I suppose he's a possibility. I like him a lot as a player. I just don't view that as one of our biggest needs.
Also, I think we should, if we don't get Devin McCourty, I think we should keep Antoine Bethea as a veteran presence. We're not paying him that much.
You know what? You know what? I've been very outspoken against cutting Bethea, but the more I think about it, the more I'm starting to think that they may not do it because, like you just said, he doesn't cost a lot. And he's still like a mentor-type player that could step in if you want to move Love to the slot. I could see them keeping Bethea. He only makes $2.7 million a year. I could see them keeping him.
Like when you said the 4 players that you think are being cut, I didn't think Bethea, but I thought everybody else. Kareem Martin was a waste of money.
Yeah, they had to cut Ogletree and Kareem Martin and Jenkins before obviously the season ended. But I thought they'd cut him if they didn't before he did what he did. And Ellison, I thought Ellison would be cut as well. But Bethea might stay on. Bethea's probably going to stay on.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is his brother Sal Lorenzo. So if you had the first pick, who do you want? Chase Young or Simmons?
If I had the first pick, I'm taking Chase Young.
Stupid question.
No, it's not. It's not a stupid question. It's not a stupid question. There's some people that definitely would take somebody else. Would take Isaiah Simmons or someone like that. But I would take Chase Young. But guys, I got a bunch of people calling in, man. I just want to say thank you for all your support. I'm assuming that's your brother. Thank you for all your support on my channel. Yeah. Thank you for watching my videos. I appreciate it.
You've been watching you since the Odell Beckham Jr. trade.
Wow, I really appreciate that, guys. And enjoy your time off from school and stay healthy, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Have a good one, guys. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in. Who's this?
Well. How's it going, entertainer?
What is going on, Mike Nixon? What's up, buddy? How you been?
I'm doing good now. I had a little bit of a scare earlier, entertainer. A little bit of a scare.
Well,
I started fevering up earlier.
Well, hopefully you stay healthy, man. Hopefully you stay healthy.
I took 6 of leave and I'm good as new.
All right, good to hear, man. Good to hear, man. So what'd you want to talk about?
First off, I don't think they're going to push back. I don't think they're going to push back for agency. I mean, there's not really any not a reason to, because you're not going to be around thousands of people. You know what I mean? You're just basically going up to meet the team or whatever, meet the owner, whoever's making the decision on who's making the signing. You know what I mean?
The one thing I completely get where you're coming from, because that was my initial thought. And then when I saw people talking about some of the reasons why they could push it back, a lot of these players, you'd be asking them to get on planes, to fly to go take a physical if you were to sign them, or asking people of the New York Giants staff to go fly and meet the player at their home. They do that a lot of times. So that may be the reason, if they do push it back, that they will. I don't know. They got to make that decision very soon, because free agency's in, what is it? You start talking to the players on Monday.
Or what they could do, because usually, so Monday they can start mutually agreeing, but they could push back to when they can actually sign their deals.
Yeah, I suppose that's possible, but if they are going to postpone it, I would think that would be the reason for things like that, because the player would have to come, take a physical, stuff like that. So
I know they're already saying that they're not pushing back the date of the league year. That's supposed to happen no matter what. The 18th is supposed to be the brand new league year. They said that they weren't pushing that back.
Now things could now things could change, but that is what they said. Yeah. They also said they were going to cancel the owners' meeting, which I think is like end of April.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
they did. I know they did say that. I did read that earlier.
Yeah,
it just sucks, man. It just sucks.
Of course,
there's not going to be any sports. And I know Senor's not going to like this because I know he's a fellow golfer. I just got the news that they canceled the rest of the Players Championship just now.
Yeah, no, it definitely sucks. I was telling one of the, not that I'm ever comparing the travesty, but the just the initial hit with realizing you're not going to have sports for we don't know how long. It's very reminiscent of 9/11. When 9/11 hit, obviously everything froze. You had no baseball, you had no football, whatever, for about two weeks, and it's very similar to that. But the thing with this, we don't know how long this is going to be. This could be a month. This could be 2 months.
I'm just hoping for the best. And like I saw the alert earlier about the NBA, they're going to reevaluate in 30 days. Yeah. I just hope good news come out of it and they can start back up, and maybe who knows? Who knows? Maybe within 2 to 3 weeks, everything starts to die down a little bit.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's what we got to hope. But the most important thing is the players' health and your health and everybody's health. So, one thing I will say, man, I give the NBA a lot of credit. I give the all these, because you're talking about billions of dollars that they're putting the players' safety and our safety above money, which I commend them for that. But I think it's the right decision right now. You got to figure out what's going on with this virus. Sports is secondary. It's health is first.
No, I can't wait. Like I keep saying, I can't wait for the draft, man. And like you said, I can see that situation back what they used to do, where they just in the office making the pitch. But I can also just see them just not holding like a public thing, but you still have like Roger Goodell walk off on the stage, or he's like in some kind of office or whatever, not announcing the pick. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
I just hope it's televised.
I think it'll be televised.
I just hope it's televised.
It'll be televised. They're definitely going to televise it. I would think. I would hope. But who knows, man? We don't know what we're walking into. This is uncharted territory. But
like I said, I'm willing to double down. I'm willing to double down on defense. Like that's only if we get Conklin. But like everything like I'm seeing now, man. Even it's like my mock drafts. I still have Espinosa going in the first round, but mock drafts I have been seeing hasn't fallen into that second round range. And you want to know something? He may not have the best of combines, but I mean, if he's there, it's even like say we go Simmons. You know what? If Espinosa's there, wouldn't you consider that? Even though he had the bad combine, but we've seen how good he could be in college.
If Epinesa is there at 36, I think that you're probably taking him. I made a video on that, and just because it was whenever I come up with thoughts in my head, sometimes they may be far-fetched, sometimes people may not would agree with them, but I want to let people know what I'm thinking, and I always give you guys my honest thoughts. And I was I was watching the results of the combine. I was reading reports about Epinesa, people saying he's dropping. And I said to myself, this is a guy that everything I've read about fits the New England Patriots defense perfectly. Well, the Giants are going to institute a defense very similar to New England. And if this guy drops to the back end of the first, maybe the Giants can move up and get him, or maybe he somehow falls to us. If I would have told you the night of the draft last year, Jawan Taylor's going in the second round, you would have called me a lunatic. So, you know what I'm saying? So you don't know. But
it also kind of reminds me of back in 2017, because a lot of mock drafts had Hernandez not really going in that second round range. Like I didn't see him going in the top. That wasn't happening, but everything I was seeing was him just being that 20 to like mid-20s pick, and then once the first round was over, I just had that feeling we're taking Will Hernandez with that second pick, because obviously we've seen what Cleveland had that first pick and they went Chubb, right? If I'm not mistaken, I think they went Chubb with that first pick, and then once it came to us, we got Hernandez, and I knew we would.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. No. The night once he was available in the second round, I knew the Giants were taking Hernandez. But Mike, I gotta let you go. I got a couple people probably trying to call in. I'll see you in the Discord and stay.
Yeah. Just so you know, can you please have a freaking cannoli for me? I want this 24-hour stream and a cannoli, a pizza, or something.
All right, Mike. No, you're not getting.
I can't get you to 180. I can't get you to 180, man.
I'm getting to 180. Don't worry about it. You'll see. I got 23 more pounds to go. But thanks for calling, buddy.
I know. I'm just messing with you. You're gonna do it, brother.
I appreciate it, Mike. Thanks for the call, buddy. And what's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in. Who's this?
Mr. Entertainer, how are you?
What is going on, man? Long time no talk, man. One of my favorite callers. What's up, buddy? How you been?
Yeah, it's been quite a while.
Mr. Israel. Big Jet fan.
That is correct.
How you been?
Correct. Very good. Listen, let's play general manager for a minute. Make believe you're Gettleman. Make believe I'm Joe Douglas of the Jets.
Okay.
Seeing how we have a little bit of a relationship after we traded Leonard Williams to you, how about if I were to come to you and tell you that you are the first team I'm going to come to and offer a trade to trade Jamal Adams?
Okay.
What would be your answer, or what would be your what would you be willing to give up for Jamal?
Not what the Jets are going to want. Because I remember last year, if I'm not mistaken, the Jets came out and said they wanted a similar price tag to, who was the player? There was a player, the guy from the Jaguars, the corner. They wanted basically the same package, which I think was like 2 first-round picks or something like that. I'm not giving you that. For Jamal Adams?
Well, yeah, what would you be willing to give up?
I'm not giving you this year's first because we're picking 4th overall. I'll give you 2 seconds. I'll give you 2 seconds. I'll give you an early second this year and next year second.
And you wouldn't be willing to swap first?
Okay, so you're saying, all right. First off, I don't know what's Adam. I'm assuming he's coming up on the end of his rookie contract.
Well, I'm going to get to that when we're done with the trade.
Okay. Okay. All right. So the Jets are picking 11. So you're basically saying I trade down from 4 to 11 and I get Adams. Is that the deal you're proposing?
Right. And you got to give me those 2 seconds.
Oh no, I can't do it, Mark. I can't do it.
All right. Then what about 1 second?
A 2021 second, and I drop from 4 to 11, and I get Jamal Adams. Jamal Adams is a very special player. Just because I need to know his contract details. I'm assuming he's going to hit the free agency after this year.
Yeah. Well, okay. This is the reason why I'm playing this game. I know you obviously deal with the Giants, and you're not. I don't know if you've heard this big debate that's going on amongst Jet fans about Jamal. Have you heard what's going on with this?
I have not.
Okay. Well, it appears that a couple of days ago, Jamal posted something. I don't know where it was, on Twitter, somewhere. I don't know. Allegedly, he is saying that he is looking now for $20 million a year for 5 years. Oh. So $100 million.
I'm not trading for him. I'm not trading for him.
Okay, all right. But yeah, so now there's a whole debate going on amongst Jet fans whether we should try to get rid of him, or because he just finished his 3rd year, and I guess according to his contract, he can go on strike if they don't give him a new deal. But the Jets are under absolutely no contractual obligations whatsoever to give him anything this year. They don't have to give him anything for another at least 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
So there's a very good possibility that if they don't re-sign him or give him a new deal, he could sit out. So, but what I'm getting at is I'm on the side that since the Jets have so many goddamn holes,
trade him
to fill. Yeah, trade him. Try to get back as much capital as you can for him.
I'll tell you what,
and let somebody, let somebody else deal with it.
I agree with you. If I was a Jets fan, I'm not paying. I don't care how good he is. Jamal Adams is great. $20 million for a safety? I'm sorry. I'm not paying a safety $20 million. I'm not doing it. Landon Collins is the highest paid safety in football. He's making $14 million a year. And even he, I thought, wasn't worth that money. Now, Jamal Adams is definitely worth 14, but $20 million, that is crazy. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go talk to Dallas now. But anyway, back to the Giants real quick. Me personally, if I'm Gettleman, I go with that 4th pick. I go with the right tackle out of Alabama.
You go with Jedrick Wills.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, right now, that's really the Giants' biggest need on the offensive line, right? Is right tackle.
Right tackle and center, no doubt about it. And left tackle. You could always shift shoulder to the right, but yeah, they need a tackle and a center.
Yeah. I mean, I like this kid Becton, but he's a natural left tackle, so I would definitely go with Willis.
Who do you want the Jets to take at number 11? I'm assuming an offensive tackle with the young quarterback.
Anybody.
Just hit on the pick.
Yeah, that's all I want. Because anything they can get has got to be better than what they got, especially on the offensive line. So, but I don't know. Honestly, I would like to see them maybe trade for that left tackle from Washington.
Okay. Yeah. I've seen the rumors with that. Depends on the price.
Yeah, it depends on the price. I mean, he's probably going to want somewhere in the vicinity of what Jamal Adams wants. So who knows? But it doesn't matter. Whatever Joe Douglas does, it's got to be better than whatever our last GM did. You know.
Oh God, your last GM, man. Oh.
Yeah, whatever it is. But hey. Like I haven't spoke to you in a long time. I think I'm going to start calling in again because we don't have much to watch anymore. My Islanders aren't playing. So.
Oh man, yeah, that's why I'm going to try to do these more. I'm going to try to do this at least twice a week, just because there's no sports and people want to talk sports. So I'll definitely at least twice a week. I'll be doing a call-in show, maybe even 3 times a week if people keep tuning in, because I know. There's people like myself that are sports fanatics that want to talk sports. So, but yeah, I know the Islanders were having a pretty good year for you.
Yeah, they're in a little bit of a slump, though. Maybe the best thing is that they get some time off. But listen, let me before I hang up, has our mutual friend Mr. Woodruff called you at all?
He has. He called about an hour ago. Him and Seahawk talked to me for a little while.
Really?
Yeah, he's doing well. He's doing well.
Okay, so when he called, is that all he talked about was Seahawks, or did he talk Giants at all?
We talked for 5 minutes, about 4 minutes and 42 seconds. We're about Seahawks.
Okay, all right, buddy. Well, yeah, I'm like I said, I'm going to start calling in again. I believe, because you're doing a great job. I can't believe how you have grown. I mean,
I appreciate that.
I mean, it's absolutely phenomenal.
I really appreciate that.
Absolutely phenomenal.
Thanks.
Great job, buddy. All right, I'll speak to you later on.
You got it, Mark, man. Thanks for the call, buddy. Love talking to you. And, oh, man, Malik, thank you so much for the love, man. I really appreciate that, man. He says, hey, when are you going to have another Get to Call You live stream? Because my phone's not working right. I was going to tell you about why we're in this spot. Malik, I may do it tomorrow. I don't want to commit to that because I was originally going to do it tomorrow, and then Ms. Rai asked me if I go live tonight, so I did. I will let you know in my next video when I plan to go live, but I'm definitely going to try to get a set schedule where I'm going live at least 2 nights a week, maybe like a Tuesday, Friday type thing, and maybe sprinkle on a third day here and there. But I'll definitely let you know in my videos. Thank you, Malik. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in. Who's this?
This is Ben from Hampton Bays.
Ben, what's going on, Ben, man? Thanks for the call, buddy.
Oh, no problem. You're honestly like the greatest Giants YouTuber out there. You're great. Everything you do.
I really appreciate that, man. Thank you very much.
So I want to talk about the draft, and has there been anything out if the virus is going to affect the draft schedule at all, or anything like that?
Yeah, as far as the draft goes, I don't think it's going to affect the schedule. It may affect the optics. It may affect it might not be a public event. But I think I would be shocked if the draft does not take place when it's supposed to. I think it'll be, but who knows? Maybe free agency could screw everything up. Maybe they push free agency back and it could change everything. But if I had to guess, I think the draft is going to take place when it's supposed to. It just might not be what we're accustomed to.
Yeah, because they had this whole, I remember seeing this whole thing set up where they would bring the players in on boats and stuff like that. It looked awesome, but besides that, I mean, who do you think we're going to sign the big name pick in free agency this year? Is it Clowney?
If you ask me right now, if you would ask me this a couple of weeks ago, I would have said somebody different. But if we're talking about a premier guy that they're going to sign, I don't know if they're going to sign anybody premier, but if I had to pick one guy, I would pick Clowney. I think Clowney's the most likely guy that will, or Byron Jones, one or the other, are probably the most likely top-tier guy that we'll bring in.
Oh, that's great. That's great. All right, that's all I had for you. Keep doing the great work, and talk to you soon, man.
I appreciate the call, man. Thank you very much for being a great subscriber, buddy.
No problem. No problem.
All right, have a good one, man. Stay safe out there. Let's see what we got here. I'll talk to you guys for a second here because it seems like the call's probably dying down a little bit. We're getting late. Thumbs up. I appreciate it. Thank you to everybody for being here. I really appreciate it. I appreciate all the support from all you guys. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the call-in show. Just trying to give you some kind of a semblance of sports on a night where there's no sports going on, which is crazy. I saw the cover to the New York Post tomorrow on Twitter. And it's just a picture of, it basically says there's no sports anymore. I was just like, it's crazy, man. It feels like 9/11 all over again in terms of that aspect. But hopefully we get back to normalcy sooner than later. Can we not do a live stream on Friday? Can we not? No, then I won't then. I won't. What, is it not good for you? Daniel Jones is as much better than Eli in his rookie. Why is Jones getting all this hate? I agree with you, and I love Eli Manning. He's my favorite Giant ever. He was not a good rookie. What's going on, Ryan Clay? Thanks for popping into the stream, man. I'm enjoying this stream as always. I appreciate that, Nikki. I don't mind talking to you guys, for 15, 20 minutes if you want to ask questions in the chat. If nobody wants to call in, I don't mind. Oh, there's a call. I think it's Sonora again, though. What's going on, Block Nation? Thanks for popping in, man. Thank you to everybody for being here. What's going on? You're on live, man. What's going on, Real New York Giants Mafia? He says, I was and still a fan of the Williams trade. Rather we re-sign him or not. I'd rather not, be honest. I think we have some young talent already in place. For the price he's going to get, man, might not be worth it. What's going on, Sonora? How you doing, buddy?
Yo, just want to talk about pretty touchy subject to me. My love for the game or the sport that is known as golf.
Oh,
and, they canceled it.
Oh,
I don't
God, know. Sonora. This is a guy. I love golf, but there's not a lot of people in my audience that like talking about golf.
I don't know what to do anymore. No more Phil Mickelson. No more Bubba Watson.
Sonora,
my boy Bubba, dude.
So I got another guy calling in. I'm gonna take the call, but I appreciate the golf talk. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in. Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
What's going on? Who's this?
My name is Manny, man. I'm down here in Georgia.
What's going on, Manny? Thanks for calling in, buddy.
Yeah, man. I just started watching your show and it's pretty good, and so I just wanted, I keep watching, TV and everything, listen to radio, and I just have a question that has been on my mind that I just want to ask real quick, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
All right. So what do you think, or what would be the biggest reason, other than the fact that, of course, we just took this guy, Daniel Jones, what would be the biggest downfall as far as picking up a guy like Tua? You know what I'm saying? Like, just to pad our quarterback selection, since it is the most important position on the field. You know what I'm saying? And we would have, this was Daniel Jones' first year. You know, Tua would probably sit, right, get behind him. That way we would give Daniel Jones a couple years to show us what he had. And if he didn't do anything, then you would have Tua in the background. What do you think about that?
I mean, I get what you're saying. Quarterback's the most important position. If you feel like Tua is a guy that could be a supreme talent, it's hard to pass up because you don't know when you're going to be picking early again. But at the end of the day, this team has so many holes. We drafted a quarterback last year, and he at least demonstrated that I think he has the potential to be very good. I just think you got to ride with Daniel Jones. He's still on his rookie deal. I wouldn't do it. Now, if some people may think that why not do that? I just think we have way too many other holes to start flirting with having two quarterbacks like that on the roster. And then you'd have to end up trading one of them more than likely. You're not going to keep two quarterbacks like that on your roster. And then teams are going to know that you have to trade one of them. So you're not going to have any leverage. You're not going to get fair value, similar to what happened with Josh Rosen, where they got like a third-round pick last year. So I just am not in favor of doing that. I understand the mindset, when people bring that up. I just think we have way too many other holes, and I think Daniel Jones, you got to ride it out. You got to give him at least 3 years before we even think about bringing another quarterback. We got to see what we got with him.
Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely understand the logic in that. I was just wondering, I just haven't heard anybody at all, talk about that, and only the reason why is because I'm just looking at the numbers. As far as the years go, you want to give Daniel Jones about 3 years to show us what he has or what have you. But in that time, I was just thinking maybe a guy like Tua who has championship rings, who has, played for Nick Saban and some really good talent out there. Why wouldn't we be able to just have that pad in the background like a Bridgewater, with New Orleans, how they had, when the quarterback got hurt, Bridgewater came in, was undefeated, so they never missed a step.
I mean, that would be great if we could do that. I just think that this team is you have a golden opportunity picking at number 4 to add a player at a position of need. And right now, quarterback's not a position of need. They have so many needs. They have a pass rusher. They have a linebacker. They have a offensive line. So you're picking at 4. You can't be taking a quarterback there. You got your quarterback. You drafted him last year. Now, if they didn't draft Daniel Jones last year and they took Josh Allen, then we would have probably ended up with Tua. But that didn't happen. We took Daniel Jones. Jones showed some promise. Right. And, I think we got to give him 2 more years before we come to a conclusion on whether or not we think he's going to be the guy, long term. But they're not going to take a quarterback, and I don't think it would be the right thing to do.
All right. Well, I appreciate your time, man. I just wanted to ask that question because, like I said, I haven't heard anybody from the New York side, talk about that.
Yeah, no, man. I always like answering all different types of questions. I haven't been asked that one yet, so I appreciate the call, man. Thank you for being a good subscriber, and thank you for listening.
All right, brother. You have a good one.
Be safe out there, man. Blue. Be safe out there.
All right.
Let's see what we got here. What's going on, Chris Leone? Thanks for popping in the stream. I saw somebody else trying to call him. We'll wait for him. See if we get one more caller. Blaming. Let's see what we got here. That whole play was an embarrassment. I believe Solder. Tua. Yeah, I think Tua is a great running back prospect. MH. I think he's a fantastic running back prospect. There we go. There's the caller. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in. Who's this?
Hey, what's up, man? It's Alex Sports.
What's going on, Alex? How you been, buddy?
It's been okay.
Yeah, man. I know you're obviously got a channel over there, big Giants fan. How you holding up with the whole coronavirus and not having sports right now? It's got to be a weird feeling.
Yeah, I mean, sports is a huge part of all our lives. This is tough. This is tough. I hope the NBA comes back in 2 to 3 weeks. That would be great. But it could take a month.
Yeah, I mean, from what I heard, it's going to take at least a month. I think it's on a 30-day hiatus regardless, minimum.
Yeah.
So
it sucks.
I think it's going to be a month no matter what. And I suspect that'll be the same. I think they'll all probably follow suit. I think every sport will probably be away, equally. I don't think one's going to come back before the other. So I think we're looking at least a month.
Yeah, I think we're looking at a month. It sucks.
At least a month. Hopefully that's all it is.
Yeah, but I got a Giants question.
Yeah, buddy.
Do you think the Giants are going to trade Evan Ingram? And there's a lot of rumors like the Bears might have interest And do you think we can get value from it?
Somebody told me that earlier. I haven't had a chance to look at it yet. Did that rumor just come out?
It's been out. It's been out a while.
Oh, has it? Okay, I didn't see it. Here's the thing with Evan Ingram. Somebody asked me about him earlier. I've made videos talking about trading Evan Ingram if we could get the right price because I don't think he's going to be in the team's long-term plans. It has nothing to do with him as a player. But I don't think you can be able to trade him before the season starts. The guy's still in a walking boot. If you're going to trade Evan Ingram, I think it'll be in season. If the team's not doing well and Ingram's playing well, maybe you're able to get something for him if he's not in the team's long-term plans. But I don't think it'll happen before the year starts.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely open to trading Evan Ingram. The top thing that concerns me with Evan Ingram is, of course, his injury issues. He hadn't stayed healthy for one full season. Of course, he's a package full of talent, but he can't stay healthy. I mean, if the Bears would pick him up, they got a great young tight end. They just got to make sure he stays healthy.
The one thing that makes sense, if you were going to trade him this offseason, why he has some value, it's a very thin tight end draft. So if you have a team out there that really wants a tight end, maybe you get something for him. And the whole reason I would trade Evan Ingram is just because I don't think he's going to be in the team's long-term plans. And if he's not, you should get something for him before you can't get anything. So we'll see. If there is a player that's tradable on the Giants, I would say he's probably the most logical one. But because he's banged up probably until at least training camp, I think it's going to be hard to trade him.
Yeah, I think it's going to be hard to trade him too. But maybe we'll find a way to fit him into our scheme a little better. Who knows? We got Jason Garrett as our OC. I don't know. I mean, he might work in Garrett's scheme. I can see it maybe working out.
Oh, if he's healthy, I think Evan Ingram's going to have a big year for the Giants. He's just got to stay healthy. Like you said, the guy's missed 14 games over his first 3 years. That's a problem. But in Garrett's scheme, I think he'll thrive when he's on the field. I think he'll have a big year.
In Garrett's system.
He's still a mediocre blocker at best, but in terms of a pass catcher, he's up there with anybody. He's very athletic. He's a matchup nightmare. Some people have suggested moving him to the outside. Maybe that would help with the injuries. I don't know. I don't view him really as a wide receiver. I think he's a guy that's a hybrid tight end, like a Jimmy Graham type. But we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens, man. Anything else?
Well, all right. Well, how about one more? Do you really think the Giants are going to pursue Clowney? So where do you like that?
I do. I do. I don't know if they're going to get him, but yes, I do think that the Giants have significant interest in Jadeveon Clowney. I think there's probably a couple teams that do, but I think the Giants are one of them, yes.
Okay. I'd be thrilled if we got Clowney because he can make a lot of good plays on defense, and he's just a supreme pass rusher.
He's definitely a difference maker. The question comes down to, is he worth the price he's going to command? But he's definitely a difference maker. He would definitely help the defense.
Yeah. I know he's demanding a high price, but we'll see.
Yeah, and he's versatile. I do think he'd fit what we're trying to do, no doubt about it. And I do think the Giants are going to be interested for sure.
Yeah, I think we'll be interested in him for sure too.
Yeah.
So that's it.
No, I appreciate you calling in, man, and talking Giants, man. Love it. Thank you.
Anytime. It's a pleasure.
You got it, buddy. You got it, buddy. Have a good one, man. And I think there was one other person trying to call in. I'll wait to see if he calls back. Ingram has been at every Giants event in the offseason. They don't play. I don't think they're trading. I agree with you. If they're going to trade him, it would be in season. It's definitely not going to be before the year. Let's see. If Ingram had been healthy his career, we aren't even talking about trading him now. But if he is in a boot next month, still he's good. I agree with you, Tommy G. We would not be talking about trading him if he stays healthy. But the guy's had a significant injury history. It's a big problem, and I lost him. He just called in, and I lost him. Hopefully he calls back. Chris, who is our tight end? Caden Smith. Caden Smith would be our tight end. And we could draft one, but Caden Smith would be the tight end. I appreciate that, Cody, man. The government, let's see what we got here. Lamar Jackson MVP, Carson Wentz would have won MVP. They both fumble. It's true. They both did have significant fumbling problems. No, he's not. But Evan Ingram is not either because he's never healthy and he can't block. My whole reasoning for trading, have a good night, Moose. My whole reasoning for being open to trading Evan Ingram has everything to do with the fact that I don't think the Giants are going to look to retain him. If the Giants plan on retaining him, then you don't trade him. But if you don't plan on keeping him, if you're not going to give him the fifth year on his rookie deal, it makes sense to try to trade him. That's all I say, man. Conklin or Clowney, who would you rather sign? I personally would rather sign Conklin because I think it gives you more flexibility in the draft. And there's the caller. Actually, there's a different caller. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in. Who's this?
Yeah, how you doing? This is Julian.
What's up, Julian? Thanks for calling in, buddy.
Yeah, I appreciate your channel, man. It's really a great channel. I had two quick questions.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Okay, I'm trying to manage my expectations with the Giants. When do you think that we'll be competitive, like where we can talk about championships or the possibility of maybe winning something?
Oh, man. You want me to be completely, if they go about it the way I think they're going to go about it, I think after this year I'm not going in with playoff expectations, if I'm being honest. Anything could happen. I think in 2 years, I think it's fair to have expectations. I'm not saying Super Bowl, but it's definitely fair to have playoff contender expectations in next year. Not this year coming up, but the following year. I think it's definitely fair to have those expectations, depending on what they do. But I think it's entirely possible we could be a playoff team in 2 years.
Because I'm really excited about this coaching staff, and I know that we've had a lot of players kind of underperform over last season, but bringing in Colombo with the offensive line and just different people, I think that I wouldn't be surprised if we make a big leap.
We definitely could. I mean, like I said, it's the NFL, man, and like you, I agree. I've been very outspoken. I'm a big fan of the coaching staff. We'll see if they keep it together. I'm a big fan of Colombo. I'm a big fan of a lot of these guys. So I think they did a great job assembling the coaching staff. And, they have young talent that hopefully gets a lot better. And it's the NFL, man. Anything could happen in the NFL. And the Giants do have some talented players. They have to mature and get better. And they have cap space. So a lot of their success this year will be based around what they decide to do in free agency. And hopefully they bring in the right players.
Definitely. And also I want to know, can you do a video? Because I'm not sure how you feel about Jerry Reese in terms of his performance when he was the GM. But just the kind of the strengths and weaknesses of him, and also compared to like David Gettleman.
Ooh, that's a good. That may take a while to break that down. That is a good video idea. That is something that if I was going to do a video like that, I think it would probably be something I would do after the draft. But I'd give you my opinion on Reese right now. But I would. That is a very good video idea. I like the suggestion. But as far as Jerry Reese goes, I think Jerry Reese. Obviously, I can't debate that he drafted pretty well in the first round. He found some gems with guys like Odell Beckham. He got Landon Collins at the very beginning of the second round. Hakeem Nicks. He found players. But Jerry Reese was a very bad drafter. After really the first couple of years he was here, he also inherited a team that was basically built by Ernie Accorsi. Ernie Accorsi built that first Super Bowl team. He had a good draft that year, bringing in guys like Ahmad Bradshaw. The second Super Bowl, he had a lot more to do with. He found Victor Cruz, undrafted free agent. He drafted Hakeem Nicks, Jason Pierre-Paul. So I give him credit for that second Super Bowl. But after that, he brought in horrible free agents. He did an awful job in free agency. All you got to do is look at the track record. And outside of the first round, he was atrocious. I was fully in favor of firing Jerry Reese when we got rid of Coughlin. And if I was going to keep one, it would have been Coughlin and not Reese. I think that was the biggest mistake. The only reason Reese got to keep his job was because he drafted Odell Beckham a year or two earlier. That's the only reason why Reese wasn't fired then. Beckham saved his job. But overall, the second half of his tenure with the New York Giants, I think Jerry Reese was a very bad general manager, if I'm being completely honest.
Okay. I'll wait for that video. And lastly, what do you think about the NFC East? It seems like now that they're pretty much gearing up. It seems like everybody, the Redskins, the Cowboys, obviously Philly, everybody's kind of gearing up to kind of really be really competitive. I don't know. They were calling us the worst, like the NFC East, the worst kind of division in sports last season. They were saying like historically, but I mean, it seems like it's gonna be pretty good going forward.
I'll tell you what, man. As bad as our division was last year, it is probably the most interesting division going into next season because you have 3 new coaches. They're all different types of personalities with McCarthy, Rivera, and Judge. everybody's got their franchise quarterback going forward, or they hope they do.
Right.
Depending on what the Redskins decide to do with Tua. But it's a completely new division, and you may have these coaches may be in those places for the next 10 years. So I think all the teams are more stable than they were a year or two ago. And I do think it's going to be a more competitive division than people think. I don't think anybody's running away with it. And I think the Giants could be in the thick of it. I'm not projecting them to win the division, but I don't think they're going to be a doormat this year. I don't think they're going to get beat up on by the Cowboys and Eagles. I think they'll be much more competitive. And I'd probably say the Cowboys are the favorite, but I do think it's a lot of interesting storylines in the division this year. I think it's going to be entertaining if we get to see football this year, which hopefully we do.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know.
Okay, cool, man. I really appreciate it. Thanks.
You got it, man. Great call, man. Great questions. I appreciate it, man.
All right, brother. Thanks.
Have a good one. I saw one more person calling in, so I'm trying to give everybody a chance to call in. So go ahead, call back in. I want a Tannehill for New York and draft Josh Allen. Clocks, yeah. Is the NFL draft event going to be canceled in person and just done with? Well, nobody knows yet. Whatever's clever. You know, your guess is as good as mine. But if I had to guess, I mean, you look at all these other public events that are being canceled, whether it's March Madness, even though it hasn't been canceled yet. I think it's going to be. Duke backed out. Kansas backed out. They came out and said they're going to be playing in empty arenas. You look at baseball's been backed up. So my guess would be, yeah, I don't think it's going to be a public event. I think it'll be, you know, they'll have the draft, but it'll be like it was in the early 90s. I don't think it's going to be this big spectacle with all these fans, if I had to guess. Let's see what we got here. Conklin should be the big guy we pay because that would I love Conklin. The only thing you worry about there is the injury history, but he gives you a lot more flexibility in the first round. I would be in favor of it, to be honest with you. Transition tag Leonard and let the market set the rate. That might be what they end up doing, $13 million a year on a transition tag for Leonard Williams. Certainly possible. Again, we outdo and you're talking to somebody else. Conference call draft. I think that's what we're looking at, John. Another great subscriber of mine, by the way. I see you comment on my videos all the time. Responsible Forest in the house. And yeah, guys, I probably going to wrap this up because it's dying down. I figured it wouldn't be the busiest of shows with the coronavirus, and there's not a lot of news going on right now, but I'm just trying to give you guys some kind of content and I guess a distraction from what's going on in the world and talk sports on a dead sports night. But yeah, I plan on doing this more often. Over the next couple of weeks, just to have something to talk about, talk sports, and just hang out, We'll see about tomorrow. I don't want to guarantee I'm going to do that tomorrow, but I'm definitely going to do it more frequently, at least twice, if not 3 times a week. Just talk draft, talk free agency as stories continue to evolve regarding the Giants and the NFL and sports in general. All right, he just called back. I'll take the call. He tried calling in a few times. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
So I was asking, do you think we should trade with the Dolphins and give them our first for their first and second?
Would I trade with the Dolphins? What's the proposed deal?
We give them our first for their first and their second. I think that's
I mean, I would try to get more, but why not? I mean, I moved down one spot. I still get my guy, and I get a second-round pick. So, yeah, I think that's better than just staying at 4. Yeah, I would do that. Yeah, I would do that.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Because the guys listening, then we can probably get the O-lineman that we wanted.
Yeah, I mean, you could still take whoever you wanted to take at 4 or 5 because the Dolphins are trading up to get a quarterback, and you get a second-round pick on top of it. So, yeah, I would do that for sure. For sure. Jacob, man, thanks for the love, man. Jacob Kaiser, $2 super chat. He says, Simmons or Jeff, cornerback out of Ohio State. Yeah,
I like your channel. I like your content.
I really appreciate that, man. Thanks a lot, man. I really appreciate that, man. Thanks for the call. And you got anything else, buddy?
No.
All right, man. Thanks for the call, man. I appreciate it. And, yeah, I'll be doing these more often, so hopefully I get to talk to you again.
All right.
Stay safe. And, Jacob, as far as that question goes, I think that is so tough, man, because I do value the cornerback very highly, but I do think the linebacker is a much bigger need, and I do love Simmons. I think I would lean Simmons, but I've been very outspoken that I would not be upset with Okudah. But I think I would take Simmons if I had to choose between the two. All right, we're getting one more. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
Hey, Chris, it's Al. How you doing, bud?
What's up, Al? How you doing, my man?
I am good, my man. You are great. I'm stuck here in Cowboy land. So
Oh, no.
you're my lifeline, pal.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
I'm in Texas. So.
now, did you grow up in Texas or did you?
No, I grew up in Jersey. I've been here for 18 years.
Oh, okay. So you got your
trying
roots.
to keep the Giant, vibe alive. So.
All right. Let's talk.
All
man.
right, bud. You look tired, my man. I'm an hour behind you, so I won't keep you long, my man.
No,
But
not at all,
I
man.
want to
Not
think
at all.
about this, bud. If we are looking for a DL, a defensive lineman, for what, 20 sacks for the year?
Okay.
23 maybe?
Yeah.
Sack a game? Our secondary is still hurting. Linebackers still hurting. Our offensive line. I think we really need a wide receiver like Judy to really give us a deep threat with Judy, Slayton, Ingram, Barkley out of the backfield. You have Shepard. You have Tate. I mean, that is some firepower. The offensive line, they don't have to hold their blocks for more than, 3-4 seconds?
I mean, it's definitely fun to think about, having that offense with Judy and Barkley.
That is firepower, pal.
It is firepower. You're not going to hear me debate that. Here's my argument against it. And I'm not, everybody's entitled to their opinion. And I've actually had a couple of subscribers who think just like you. They think either a trade down, try to take Judy at 7 or 11 or whatever.
Right.
And it would be entertaining. It would be fun. And it's definitely a hole. We definitely do need a number one wide receiver. I just feel like there's much more important positions that we need to fill before we start worrying about the wide receiver. And this draft specifically, it is a rich wide receiver draft. It's very deep at that position. So knowing it's so deep at that position, it's even more of an incentive not to take one in the first round because you could still. Find,
good point, my man.
Yeah,
Great point.
You could still find a wide receiver in like the 4th that's still going to be.
Awesome point.
Yeah,
I hear you, but we need some more firepower.
Oh, we do. We definitely need another weapon. You're not gonna hear me debate that. My mindset is fix the trenches, fix the defense, and then next year, if you feel like you still need that supreme weapon, go out and get him.
Yeah, we just don't have enough Band-Aids in the box or in the tin right now to fix all the holes we have.
We don't. It's a multi-year process. It's not going to happen in 1 year. And that's what I try to express. Because I know a lot of fans want to just go from where we are to a Super Bowl in 1 year. That it's very rare that happens. If you want to build for long-term success, be a team like the Steelers have been the last 15 years, you got to do it the right way. And
absolutely.
And hopefully the Giants are doing that, and I think they're starting to. So hopefully they keep up with it.
You bring up a great point, pal. So love you, my man, and keep it going. So we need you here in Texas, pal.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much for the call.
Take care, Chris. Take care, my man.
Thank you for being a great subscriber.
All right, bye, man.
Have a good one. Be safe. By your logic, Wentz will be gone. You don't come across top cornerbacks before. Tana, I wanted to call, but got stuck late at work. Definitely next time. Keep the incredible content following. Be safe out there, brother. You too, man. Rudy's awesome. Always try to shout him out whenever I can. He's been, he's one of my first 100 subscribers. He's the freaking man. I don't know what else to tell you. But guys, I've been live since 8:30. I just wanted to go live and talk sports with you guys for a little bit, and that's what we did. And like I said, I'm gonna make it an effort to try to do this as much as I can. Maybe 3 nights a week, even if I could do that. So I just want to say thank you to everybody who tuned in, anybody who may have subscribed, everybody that donated, everybody who hit that thumbs up, everybody who called in. Just thank you guys, man, and everybody out there. Be safe. Don't take this lightly. Be safe and live your life. Don't live in a bubble, but be safe. Make sure you wash your hands and do the right things out there. But thank you guys for tuning in. And as always, cheers.